dare you to ask her again.
Hey, if she doesn't want to talk.
You're going to break that.
Ending a relationship is difficult. Mom will open up when she's ready.
I never said I broke up with Jared.
Are you saying you didn't?
What I'm saying is, whether I did or not is none of your business.
Mom doesn't like to share pain.
Excuse me? Mom is the Robin Hood of pain. She takes from those who have too much and she spreads it around to those who don't have enough.
This stupid thing is broken.
Where's Lauren?
I just simply asked you to pick her
Left
up.
a message on the machine.
What's my fault? I'll go.
No, I'll get her.
Usually fine.
You move the car out of the driveway. I am the worst. Get your car out of the
going?
driveway. Why are you following me?
Let me go.
Just let me get my
give me the keys.
All right,
Mom,
all right.
give me the-
Nobody talk unless I point to them.
Maybe that's her now.
What happened to the point?
Where were you? Thanks a lot.
I am so sorry. I'll play Barbies with you every night for 2 months.
Rob Meltzer, Lauren Sensei.
Yeah, Amy Gray. I think I met you when I signed Lauren up.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Hello. Shall I go and check on your daughter?
Yes. Tell her I'll buy her a pony.
Vincent Gray, brother.
Oh.
My brother, not Lauren's, obviously.
I figured I'd better bring her home.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
After she waited a half hour.
I know. It never happens. We take turns and something fell through the cracks, and it's not gonna happen again because I'm gonna hire a babysitter one of these days.
It happens all the time.
Really?
Yeah. It's nice seeing you again.
Hey, Rob. Would you like to have dinner with us? It's just noodles, and the pepper mill is broken, but...
No thanks, Mrs. Gray. I have plans.
It's Amy. Mrs. Gray is my ancient mother.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah. Oh, shut up. All of you.
Shut up.
Judge Faraday?
Judge Gray, I hope you don't want to change your CSO again.
No, it's nothing like that. I have an idea, an administrative idea, and obviously you are the go-to guy. I mean, it's within your sphere.
What is it?
Adoption Day.
Uh-huh.
Other counties are experimenting with it. We set aside 1 day every quarter to finalize adoptions. Currently, as you know, we just slot them in whenever we can.
Nope.
And No?
By slotting them in, we cut into our backlog. I can't support anything that'll put our dockets behind.
But when we slot them in, we don't give them their moment.
Their moment?
Well, they show up, and to them, it's as important as a wedding, and we just rush them through. These are foster children who have waited months or years to be adopted, and it's getting bogged down at the judicial level.
Because judges are bogged down with more pressing cases like neglect and delinquency.
So we do it on a Saturday.
The weekend?
One Saturday, every 3 months. We could process 200 adoptions.
Judges, lawyers, CSOs, court reporters volunteering.
4 Saturdays a year.
4 Saturdays a year.
Oscar, I am honored to present your daughter, Ariadne Gray, Band.
She's a beaut. Oh, Peanut. Hi. It's Daddy. Oh, baby.
He likes her.
It's your daddy. She looks so much like
I know.
my mother.
Oh,
God, I wish I could just hold her.
Oscar, what's the matter? We'll get you out of here. We'll all be together one day.
It's not just that.
What? Have you found someone else?
Donna, I'm a convicted murderer.
Ariadne will grow up knowing you did not kill your mother. That is my solemn pledge.
But looking into that sweet, sweet face, I have to tell you something. Like, the truth.
No way, Oscar.
Donna! Donna!
It's that condescending chuckle. I just wanted to push him out the window.
No one would suspect you of killing Judge Faraday. You've been so close.
He doesn't think I can get any of the judges to volunteer their time. He thinks we're all like him. We're not all like him.
Good morning.
She's supposed to be on maternity leave.
Yeah, I better call my brother. See the gasket blew.
Miss Gray? Hi. I'm Barb Gallinelli. I run the Rape Crisis Center here at the hospital. I heard you just met with our administrator about the abandoned house on Carisbrooke Road.
Then you probably heard he said the hospital can't afford to give up such valuable real estate.
Well, they can't afford to renovate it either.
Sanctuary House begins and ends with the property, Miss Gallinelli.
Sanctuary House, your idea is wonderful. An abuse center for kids, come on, it's brilliant. The police botched the interviews. The prosecutors are detached from the case. The kids are further traumatized. It's a dog's breakfast.
You drink a lot of coffee, don't you, Miss Gallinelli?
Barb, you're kind of tough. That's good. You'll need to be.
I don't have a lot of patience for politics.
What I'm proposing is that you work with the Rape Crisis Center to make this happen because I live for the politics, Miss Gray. Come on. Buy you a cup of coffee.
Please call me Maxine. Have you ever considered a nice cup of chamomile tea?
In my opinion, and that of several colleagues, Haley DeMiola suffers from early onset schizophrenia with aspects of Asperger's syndrome. Haley's pathology includes a lack of empathy, emotional detachment, maliciousness, and an inability to discern between fantasy and reality.
Did you do a PET brain scan on Haley?
Yes, and we found positron emissions congruent with this diagnosis.
Did you by any chance find horns, a tail, maybe a pitchfork?
Objection.
Sustained. Grow up, Miss Salyers.
Those are my questions, Your Honor.
Now, let's get something straight here right off the bat. I have in front of me a divorced couple who disagree so strongly on how to treat their 13-year-old mentally ill daughter that they had to bring in the state to make that decision.
Objection, Your Honor.
To what?
We will show that Haley DeMiola is not mentally ill, but rather that she's possessed by a demon, thus necessitating an exorcism.
Off the record, please. I have to be honest. I don't relish the idea of adjudicating this case. It involves religious faith, an extremely ill child. You absolutely certain you cannot come to an agreement outside my courtroom?
Judge, my daughter is very sick. She's mentally ill. She's not possessed by demons.
Haley speaks languages. Her room is cold. Even the doctors and nurses feel a sense of dread when they approach her. We need help to do what's best for our daughter.
Back on the record, please. Cross, Mr. Kara.
Dr. Kemper, does schizophrenia explain the scratches?
Yeah, we've all seen the movie. I'm sure Miss Salyers will stipulate to the scratches, to the speaking of ancient languages, the levitations, and all the other spooky phenomena.
Yes, Your Honor.
Of course she does, Your Honor. Those spooky phenomena are the basis of Mrs. DiMiola's contention that Haley DiMiola requires an exorcism.
Well, I'm not here to decide whether or not Haley is possessed. I'm here to judge whether an exorcism will help or harm her.
I'm not sure I understand.
A court of law is not a good place to debate the existence of God or the devil. It is a good place to judge what is best for a 13-year-old girl.
Your Honor, if we can convince you that Haley DiMiola is indeed possessed by a demon, then you're more likely to rule in our favor.
And Miss Salyers will simply counter with arguments to say those symptoms can be explained by mental illness.
Mental illness does not explain Haley's ability to rip heavy canvas restraints or the levitation of her bed.
Mr. Kara, I have been through the briefs and affidavits. Windows cracking, Haley speaking ancient languages, the drop of temperature in the room. You may well be able to give me goosebumps or even keep me up at night, but what my ruling will come down to is whether or not an exorcism will harm Haley. So please, confine all your questions to that matter.
Dr. Kemper, is it not true that in several cases, like Haley's, the child in question has benefited from an exorcism?
Yes, that's true.
If there's no such thing as demonic possession, then why does an exorcism help?
Because in many cases, the ritual of exorcism itself serves the child in a beneficial psychological way, a placebo effect, if you will.
Then how do you know Haley won't be one of those children?
In an equal number of cases, the exorcism has actually done harm.
What kind of harm?
The child forms a notion that he or she is intrinsically evil. There is a corresponding decompensation. The child feels damned.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I tell you it's important.
Good morning.
I don't think morning. Right?
If I could just interrupt for one moment to appeal to your good side.
I think you should know better than to use the word appeal around a group of judges.
Well, I am trying to set up an adoption day. It would mean that all judges and lawyers and court service workers donate their time one Saturday every 3 months. As you know, adoptions get held up because of our overloaded docket, so I'm thinking we give up one Saturday, we make a couple hundred kids a whole lot happier. And, you know, naturally, I'm donating my time, so...
Does anyone else agree to do this?
Absolutely. Judge Wiley, Judge Gemmel, Judge Kronerling.
I'm afraid this won't fly for me. I have a lot of obligations on the weekends.
Yeah, all 18 holes.
Well, thank you for your time. I'm sure Judge Faraday will understand.
No, wait. Hold it. Amy, Faraday's in on this?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I mentioned that.
You said it was your idea.
And he supports me on it.
I guess I could spare one Saturday every 3 or 4 months.
Harry, I need another patty melt.
You were eating that precise sandwich the first time I met you.
Not this precise sandwich, I hope.
Did you get my postcards?
Oh, yes. From Munich. Look very cold there.
Did you get my messages? I hope they weren't cold.
Your postcards were very sweet. A welcome diversion. Things have been, bumpy. Socrates died.
Yes, I know. Hemlock.
Socrates is our basset hound.
Sorry.
I guess I've been a little low. All of my colors are a little washed out.
Is that why you don't return my calls?
I'd understand if you just...
Went looking for someone with brighter colors? So was everything like that? Washed out?
Oh, no, not everything. There's a project that I've started.
No, let me guess. Saving children from a fate worse than death? Making the world a better place? Something along those lines?
It's embarrassing when you say it like that.
So this project, what's it called?
Sanctuary House. I'm trying to figure out how to get the board of directors at the hospital to give me an old abandoned house, where, with the help of a very energetic woman that I'm working with, we hope to set up a vertically integrated child advocacy center. I'm sorry, is this interesting?
Very.
Please, come out. Ariadne's hungry.
There's breast milk in the fridge.
Donna, I've been taking care of Ariadne all day. It's fine. But I have a date with Carol and I want to go on it.
Just leave the baby in the playpen. She'll come out eventually.
I'm sorry, Vincent. I can't face Ariadne right now. Hi, Carol.
Why can't you face her?
She's a demon seed.
She's not a demon seed. Look at her. Open the door and look at her.
Why don't I just go get the tickets?
But this is not my fault.
I didn't say it was.
Donna just found out that her baby's father is a murderer.
It never occurred to her that a convicted killer might have actually, say, killed someone.
Donna's one of those people who... She had faith, and now this has just turned her world upside down. Maybe it's a postpartum thing. I don't know, but I can't just leave.
Okay. I'll meet you later for a drink.
Donna, I'm begging you.
I just can't.
Take your cell phone. I'll call.
Okay. Good luck. Bye, Donna.
Bye, Carol.
Demonic possessions occur in 4 stages. Infestation, during which time the demon circles the victim, and there are unexplainable external phenomena.
Such as all the windows in the Dimiola household cracking at the same moment.
The next stage is obsession. The victim suffers a major personality change. Then there is contact, in which the demon takes residence and there is a struggle for control. Finally, there is full-blown possession, in which the victim's will is totally subjugated to the demons. Haley appears to be at stage 3.
Mr. Kara, I'd like you to please move on to testimony which has relevance to this case.
Your Honor, if I can't prove to you that Haley Dimiola is in fact possessed, then how can I convince you that she requires an exorcism?
You can start by having your witness tell me exactly what will happen to Haley Dimiola during an exorcism.
Objection, Your Honor.
You object to my question, Miss Salyers?
Professor McWhorter will not be conducting the exorcism, ergo his testimony is speculative.
You want me to produce an actual exorcist?
That's a very good idea.
Exorcists are forbidden to testify without the permission of the bishop.
Well, not if I summons him.
An exorcist is not likely to cooperate even if you subpoena him.
Then the exorcist will come to realize that hell is nothing compared to the persistence of an annoyed Superior Court judge. His name, please.
This is a Jesuit priest. He answers to a higher authority than you.
Fine. In the absence of any other testimony, I'll make my ruling right now.
Father Paul Girardi, S.J.
Is she the Safina, Mr. Van Exel?
Amy!
Rob. Hey. Well, look at you, all sweaty and fit and ready to kick somebody or something.
Yeah, I extended my run this morning.
Why?
So I could bump into you.
Well, bump away.
I was wondering, since you're looking for a babysitter, maybe I could recommend someone for the job.
Oh, you know somebody?
Yeah, she's very bright, intelligent. She's great with kids. She's beautiful. She's fun.
Wow. Sounds a lot like me.
So where should she go?
Who?
My niece, Katie, to apply for the job.
Oh. Oh, it's your niece. Oh.
Do you have a pen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a weird pen, but she should probably she can come to the courthouse on Washington Street.
She's 19. She's a college freshman. And I guarantee you'll love her.
I already do.
Ah, Barb, I'm writing up the proposal for the hospital board right now. I got some wonderful advice from a very knowledgeable friend. The hard part seems to be coming up with some financial sponsorship from a private source. There are several foundations which I think I'm babbling, and you're not. What's wrong?
You got an offer for matching funds.
I don't understand.
Whatever the monetary value of grants or disbursements from the hospital or from the state, an anonymous private donor has agreed to match with cash. Do you know what this means?
Yes, I sure as hell do.
You've done it! Now, where are we going? We've got to go someplace and celebrate.
I have a meeting. Excuse me.
Well, congratulations, Maxine.
Yes, this is my lucky day.
Just for future reference, what do you like when things go badly?
I have a 3.9 GPA. I'm an avid swimmer and Connecticut Mathlete of the Year. It's like athlete, only with math. I have a black belt in karate. I am an excellent cook, and I get the safe driver's discount on my car insurance.
Judge Gray.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to cut this short, Katie. But I'll let you know when we can resume.
I'm available immediately.
Well, you are obviously well qualified. I'm just I'm not sure if I'm gonna hire anyone at all. I've always taken care of Lauren myself with the help of my family, and I guess I'm not ready to admit defeat.
You do remember we have an extended session tonight.
Oh, crap and corruption.
Oh, no problem. I can pick Lauren up. Sort of like a tryout.
Demonic possession and exorcism are gravely misunderstood, Judge Gray. Certainly not accepted by society as a whole. The ritual itself is closely guarded by the church, but I will answer what questions I can within the guidelines established by the Archdiocese.
How many exorcisms have you performed, Father?
I'd rather not answer that.
Father, these people have put the welfare of their daughter in my hands. So I have to figure out whether Mr. DeMiola's contention that an exorcism will actually harm his mentally ill daughter is true or not.
I have a degree in abnormal psychology and internal medicine. In the massive majority of the cases brought to me, I find that the unfortunate suffers from nothing more than mental or emotional illness.
And how is Haley DeMiola different?
Well, after a 6-month investigation, it became obvious to us that she is possessed.
What effect would the ritual of an exorcism have on Haley?
It would drive out the demon.
What is the process?
I can tell you that I lay hands on her gently. I make motions over her, and I pray in Latin. I exhort the demon to leave her in the name of God. Now, once the demon identifies itself, the victim is then baptized.
Father Girardi, the holy water burns, does it not?
It burns the demon, not the victim.
Wait, we're talking about regular water? H2O at room temperature?
Well, holy water has been blessed by a priest.
But it's still just water.
I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. I think I've heard enough.
I know how this sounds to you, but until you confront evil face to
Confront
face...
evil every day, Father, in the form of abuse and neglect of children. I don't know anything gets more evil than that.
With all due respect, Judge Gray, you're wrong. We all want to believe in the rational world. The rational world and the love of God. But there is also evil. Most of it comes, as you say, from our own weaknesses, from our own distance from grace. That's the evil you fight every day, and I commend you for it. But I have seen an evil that comes from outside, that mows us down like grain before a scythe. I have seen it. And I see it in Haley. One day, her mother and I were sitting with Haley, and the demon inside her made horrifically obscene propositions to me in Latin. We prayed for strength, and for one moment, she looked at me. Haley, you understand? Not the demon. And she said, "Please help me," in her own voice. It was the terrified cry of a child. Please, don't stop me from going to her aid.
I'm sorry I'm late. Hi. Hi, Mommy. Katie taught me how to do origami.
She did? What does that smell?
We make cookies.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do your homework?
Homework first. That's the worst. Then have fun when the homework's done.
Oh.
I love Katie. Can she take care of me every day, Mommy?
Well, yeah, she's gonna pick you up from school, but I'm home now, so we can do stuff.
Like what?
Crazy eights.
I'd rather do origami with Katie. What should I make next?
Let's see, we can make another tiger.
Okay.
Can do that. Okay, we'll get this one out.
Put it in here.
There's my little peanut. Come to Mommy. Come to Mommy. Look at that smile. Aren't you a genius?
I'm telling you, Donna, she is exceptionally alert.
Where you been?
Ari, I need an hour covering a strike meeting downtown. So everything's back to normal? If it ever was?
Oh, Carl explained it to me.
Oh.
Remember that show we did on the relationship between environment and genetic predisposition?
Oh, yes, I do. On the radio. That was a very good show.
Well, I brought Donna the transcripts and a few other materials.
Did you know that environment is much more important to a developing personality than genetics?
God, I hope that's true.
I gotta give Ariadne a bath. Oh. And...
Hi.
So did we do a show like that?
It was before your time. I wanted to include you.
You just showing axe murderers and their demon seed offspring?
Donna's very intelligent. All she needed was a few nurture versus nature facts. I also got her to take a B12 supplement. She was depleted.
Fighting ignorance with knowledge, that's quite a radical concept.
It was selfish, really. I wanted you back. And the woman obviously needed a little reassurance. I'm good at that.
Well, I, for one, am feeling very reassured.
What's that smell?
Fresh baked, low-fat, delicious cookies.
You found a babysitter who bakes?
Yep. She's obnoxious and bright and idiotic and does origami and sings annoying little songs about homework and is smug. And I hate her. Ma, I hate her. But Lauren thinks the sun shines right out of her butt.
Don't be crude, dear. This would be Karate Rob's niece?
Yeah, but that's not why I'm hiring her.
No. You're taking on a babysitter you hate because that's what's best for Lauren.
Well, I don't want to be hiring a babysitter at all, but I've been on this really difficult case, and I'm trying to get this adoption day scheme off the ground, and it just seems like everything is conspiring to keep me from getting home to my daughter. And when I finally do get home, she barely looks at me. I mean, you tell me, what's the use of going out there and fighting to make the world a better place if you lose your daughter?
I had a swell day too, dear.
But did you have Satan?
Oh, now, Amy, I know you don't like the girl, but she's hardly Satan.
No, Ma, I'm serious. In court today, I actually had Satan. Okay, not Satan, but Satan's parents.
Why in God's name did you turn down my money?
Jared, do you want to come in?
No, I'm angry. I yell better outdoors.
That money is your way of ensuring that I have to see you. Or maybe it's pity, but either way, I'm not comfortable.
Oh, God forbid you might have to squirm. You know, maybe you're just afraid to be loved and respected.
Yes, that's it exactly. Is that all?
Sorry about your dog. Sorry about your muted colors. But Maxine, just a minute now. Maxine, I have feelings for you. I wish I didn't. You're a difficult woman. But I do. I just can't figure out what possesses you sometimes. I mean, what is so wrong with me that we can't at least try to be together?
What I have to say can only cause pain and dissension.
Oh, and destroy all this harmony? Maxine, pain and dissension would be a step up.
Your son, Charles, accused me of seeing you for your money. And he offered me money to leave you alone. I turned him down, of course, but I would never come between you and your son. See? I knew you would react like this.
I'm gonna kick that boy's ass up around his ears. Some sort of stupid Oedipal thing regarding his mother, I suppose. And quite frankly, Maxine, if this is the reason you've been avoiding me, I'd like to kick your ass, too. Maybe you could trust the fella just once in a while to do the right thing.
Wow. Oh my God. That's exactly how I sound to Karate Rob. How? Why?
Katie.
What are you doing?
I just took out the garbage.
I mean, here.
Good morning, everyone.
Well, isn't taking Lauren to school part of the gig? I thought we could practice the times tables along the way.
7 times 6 is 42.
You know what, Katie? I'm rethinking this whole idea. What on earth is this?
Oh, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, especially for the very young and the very old.
I'm gonna let that pass because breakfast always tastes so much better when someone else makes it.
Here's the thing, Katie. When we lived in Manhattan, Lauren spent more time with her nannies and her babysitters than she did with her father and me. So, you know, I figured that when we moved back to Connecticut, I'd try to be a better mom and...
Did you watch my karate gi?
You have karate again?
Yeah. Rob says I'm very talented.
Yes, and we know why. Oh, you can't say I told you, but my Uncle Rob, he has sort of a thing for you.
For me?
My.
He says you're a hottie.
Amy, for heaven's sake, close your mouth. You look simple.
It doesn't matter whether I believe in God or the devil, Santa Claus, the Sasquatch, or Little Green Men when it comes to this case. I know this has been very frustrating for Mrs. DeMiola and her counsel, but I simply cannot adjudicate on whether or not Haley DeMiola is possessed by a demon. Now, fortunately for me, this case does not come down to fundamental beliefs. It comes down to the best interests of a child. Mrs. DeMiola and Father Girardi believe that Haley is possessed, and Mr. DeMiola and Dr. Kemper believe she's the victim of Asperger's syndrome and schizophrenia. As to whether an exorcism would help or harm Haley, I might as well flip a coin. The best interests of the child. Well, at the end of the day, I'm required to say that I did everything possible. Haley called out for help. She called out to her mother and to Father Girardi, and through them, perhaps, to me. I can only hope that somewhere in her diseased mind or from behind a demon, Haley knows what she needs. I'm hereby denying Mr. Alphonse DeMiola's motion to block his daughter's exorcism.
Thank you.
God bless you. Okay, then. Okay.
It can take 2 years for these good-hearted people to navigate the system to adopt a child. Redundancies, the bureaucratic runaround, red tape. Oh, there's nothing I can do about any of that. So I asked myself, what can I do? How can I make things better?
Oh, you have to say something.
To their credit, the workers and lawyers and judges in the courthouse, after I showed them the way, volunteered in droves.
Honest to God, Jared, are you having me followed?
It's Tuesday night during a very rough week. Where else would you go to get a little peace and quiet? I pay attention, Maxine.
We got the house.
Congratulations.
Jared, you have given me enough money.
Oh, no. This is a letter of apology from my son, Charles.
Oh. Well, that wasn't necessary.
He didn't write it to you. He wrote it to me. If he's any kind of a man, he'll apologize to you in person.
You're angry with me.
Well, about half the time. I can live with that.
I'm afraid I can't. Because I can do better. If I can't get that down to a quarter of the time in the next 6 months, then I really won't deserve a sweet man like you.
mother's heart been shattered. Told her daughter to beware. Both secrets and dreams you should never share. Trust only in change, 'cause hearts change, but betrayal always feels the same. But with him, she found loyalty. Come be with me, soothe my broken heart. Show me loyalty.
You're here late. Sorry. Guess that exorcism stuff got to you, huh?
Oh. Well, you're Catholic. Do you think that girl is possessed?
I have no idea.
I like the idea of Satan.
You like the idea of Satan?
Well, that we're not always responsible for all the bad stuff we do. Sometimes we can blame our problems on somebody else.
You do understand that believing in Satan means believing in the possibility of everlasting damnation in the fiery lake. Do you have a little girl to get home to?
Oh, please. That's all I try to do is get home to my daughter. It's like the whole world is conspiring to keep me away from her. Or maybe the devil. I don't know.
I know how this goes. You're here fighting for other people's children while someone else is raising yours. I'm a single father.
Oh. Come on. I want to go home. Let me go home. I keep thinking I'm doing all this great stuff. You know, maybe I am. Maybe Lauren is fine. Maybe her life won't be ruined because I'm so invested in my work. But it's a Tuesday night and I'm stuck in an elevator, and you know, the really sad thing is nobody's even gonna notice I'm missing until tomorrow morning.
Jump with me. 1, 2, 3.
I just think it's the time of year. It's the short days. Everything goes so fast, you know?
Yeah.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime. Can McCoy handle a complicated trial? Solve the case with Law and Order. Next on TNT.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yummy. Okay, dismissed. Great job, everyone. Remember, yellow belt test on Saturday. Work on first and second kata.
It's Mommy's ninja kung fu assassin girl. Karate's not about hurting people.
No, of course, I was just...
And it's Kung Fu Do, not Kung Fu.
Okay, whatever it is, you're gonna need it if you don't get your sneakers on in 2 minutes flat.
Hi.
I had a light docket today, so here I am, picking up my daughter, the way mothers do.
How's my niece working out?
She's perfect.
Don't hold that against her.
So listen, can I...
You first.
Can I write you a check for the next 6 or 10 classes or whatever?
That'd be fine. If it bounces, I know where you live. I'd like to take you to dinner. How's Saturday night?
This Saturday?
I know, it's short notice.
No.
Well, maybe some other time.
No. I mean, I'd like to. That's what I meant by no.
Okay. Yes is usually the word of choice when consenting.
Yes.
But great.
No. Wait, I can't on Saturday. I have a work thing, and my nephew's getting adopted. It's gonna be nuts.
Okay.
How's Friday?
Friday's good.
Really?
No. I can rearrange some stuff, but
call me.
I'll call you.
What were you guys talking about?
Tung Sudo.
Adoptions in one day? Is that reasonable, Amy?
Well, adoption days have been successful in other counties. I think we can do it.
Amy organized the entire event.
I'm getting a little bored with you being exceptional.
Yeah, not bad for somebody who isn't even gifted.
Definitely don't want that. Let's try some organic squash.
I have a family waiting to adopt 3 foster children. Now we can do it all in one day.
Oh, God.
Not sure that Ned gets the full nutritional benefit this way.
Well, I wouldn't feed him anything I wouldn't eat myself.
I never know whether to throw away pictures of people's children.
What do we think of Judge Roberta Pattison?
She's good. Is she handling Ned's adoption?
Yes. 3:15 on Saturday. And I can assume that everybody's going to be there?
Oh, let's see. My first son's first son is being officially adopted. It might conflict with my water aerobics.
Hate to be the Grinch here, but I might not be able to make it. It's work. Carol and I are trying to put a story together, sort of a joint thing between the station and the newspaper.
Well, you can be at the next adoption.
Mom, I want to be there. I almost got fired a few months ago. Just trying to do this right.
Okay, Nettie. This one's not so bad.
Okay. It's time for grown-ups to eat.
Amy, I have a question.
Sure. What?
Well, as I'm about to officially become a mother and you and I haven't really connected about it, I'd like for us to go out for a drink or something to celebrate.
Just you and me?
Yeah. You know, kind of a girl thing. We could have drinks and tell stories and have hors d'oeuvres and stuff. I mean, we've never really done that kind of thing, mother to mother.
It sounds great.
Tomorrow night?
You are on.
Okay, Nettie, I'm gonna give you some pureed asparagus. It has a mild flavor. It's full of vitamins. Please?
No, I don't think we have a woolly mastodon in Hartsville. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, look, Becca, don't go out on the balcony without Mommy, okay? Okay. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.
How's Rebecca enjoying New York?
There are apartments on West 73rd Street.
Good.
They're on the 28th floor.
Nice.
That's like 800 feet up.
Relax, Bruce.
It's more than that. Mia's starting this day spa business. She's gonna be running around. If it doesn't pan out, I don't know if she's not gonna try to take Rebecca to Paris or Budapest.
Wow. New York to Budapest in 2 neurotic steps. It's not bad. If it makes you feel any better, I'm a wreck too.
About what?
The new parking stickers. Adoption Day. Aren't you excited?
This is me excited.
Hey, I just know how much work it took for both of us.
I was a part of it. You did all the heavy lifting.
What if it's a disaster?
It was all your idea. By the way, Rob Messler called?
Oh, really? Any messages?
No, but there was a phone number. I heard screaming in the background.
Yeah, he's my daughter's karate teacher. I'm kind of having dinner with him.
First a cop, then a karate teacher? Why don't you just get yourself a bodyguard?
What can I say? I appeal to men who know how to kill.
I'll see you out there.
The twins here are all set. DCF has signed off on the application. Now it's just a matter of showing up at the courthouse on Saturday and watching the judge sign the adoption certificate.
Oh, I'm so excited. We've waited a long time for this.
And you too? Looking forward to Saturday?
Definitely. And after we get to go out for tacos and ice cream?
Of course you do. It's the law.
All right.
What about Susanna?
I'm afraid Susanna's case won't make it this time around. We'll have to arrange it for the next cycle.
What? Why?
The first attorney failed to process the application properly. It was my fault for not watching him. I found another lawyer to take your case, but she can't be ready by Saturday.
We really wanted to adopt all the kids on the same day.
Can't you push the lawyer?
Jess, adoption days only work because a lot of highly paid lawyers have put in a great deal of pro bono work. We're not in a position to pressure them.
Susanna will be 18 in a few weeks.
There's no law against adopting a legal adult.
I don't want to end my childhood belonging to the state of Connecticut.
You know how it is, Susanna. There are legalities.
That's just it. My whole life I've been a legality. Ward of the state, foster child. I've been everything except someone's daughter.
I realize it's just symbolic, and it may seem trivial to you.
No, it's not trivial. I'm sorry. For a moment there, I became a government worker. You have my word. Before you are an adult, you will be someone's child.
Lan, since I've taken over management here, I've made more of an effort to do hard news. Now, Carol has an idea, and she feels that Vincent is the guy for it. Now, his other spots have been well received.
All right. Let's hear it.
It's about kids doing hard time.
Kids.
Juvenile offenders, young teenage kids sentenced to time in adult prisons.
Hundreds of them, and it's heartbreaking. They're separated from the general population, but still they get raped, they get beaten up.
Sort of a follow-up to my social services story.
And?
We're envisioning a series of articles that cover all aspects of juvenile justice in Hartford County. You publish each installment, and Vincent does an on-air version for the radio.
Criminals in training, our community at risk. We do well with stories like that. But I'm not sure Gray's the man. He's the least experienced writer on my staff, and besides, McAllen's my crime guy.
It has to be Vincent.
Carol, maybe Len has a point.
I have a lot of good writers.
No. Vincent's the guy, or we're not interested.
Well, Gray, it looks like someone believes in you enough to threaten me. The story's yours.
If I had known how great parenting would be, I would have done this years ago. It's a miracle, isn't it? Watching these little people discover the joys and mysteries of life.
Yeah, it's great. And it goes so fast.
When?
What?
When does it go fast? Because right now it seems to be going not fast.
Well, in the beginning, it's a little tough.
Like sleeping through the night? That's not going so fast.
He's old enough now, you could Ferberize.
I want to Ferberize, but Peter says no, he's too young. Can't bear to see him cry. He's such a softy, Peter is. Some would even say he's a wimp. I wouldn't, of course. Whew, these are going straight to my head.
Well, how long has it been since you've had a night on the town?
Oh, you know, the 80s. I just wish they would get their information straight.
Who?
All the baby books. Sterilize the bottles in boiling water. Oh, no, don't put the bottles in water. Use the microwave. It's safer. Of course, there's nothing better than breast milk, but I don't have breast milk now, do I?
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. I didn't breastfeed Lauren for that long.
And then he starts with the whining. Not the crying, mind you, the whining. This noise that sounds like a car engine that won't turn over. No one tells you about the whining.
When he starts to talk, things will get easier.
Oh, good. That's only, what, 6 months away?
Is Peter helping?
He thinks he's helping. I mean, he tries, but it's never quite right. Is it?
Well, I don't know.
All I'm saying, is it too much to ask that after 2 million years of evolution, men would be able to snap up a onesie? Peter can't do it? No. He's a math whiz, memorizes actuarial tables, computes premiums in his head, but he cannot count snaps. I'm sorry. You must think I'm a horrible person. I do love being a mother.
Hey, Jillian, there is nothing nice about poopy diapers and screaming babies and months on end without a good night's sleep. It's okay to hate all that stuff.
It is?
Absolutely. But it's important for you to know that things do get better.
Thanks, Amy. Can we have another?
I love you, Amy. I really do.
I love you too. I mean, you are way too skinny for someone with such a nice rack.
I hate how pretty you look in the morning without any makeup on. But basically, I just really love you.
Okay, there's a step.
Can you talk to Peter for me about the rising?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Because I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah. Woo!
Take my arm. But that would leave you with one.
Where have you two been?
Oh, drinking and talking and drinking and so on. Where have you been?
Look, you better pull yourself together.
Why? Is there a surprise? I love surprises.
Hey, Julian. Hi, Amy.
Can I snip your cheek? How about your ear? How about your ear? Yeah, it's so great to see him. He's so big. I can't get over how alert he is.
He's in the assimilation and accommodation stage.
Oh.
He's fine. Wish we could have told you on the phone if you called like we agreed.
I know. Sorry for just showing up like I did, but I was afraid if I called to ask to see him, you would have said no.
At least we would have had a choice.
Peter, come on, everyone. Let's give Ned and Evie a few minutes alone.
Hey, what are you looking at? Hi.
We have to start thinking about a strategy. We need a plan of action if she decides to challenge the adoption.
She can't do that, can she? No, I don't see any problems. Evie made her decision to give up Ned a long time ago. She can't take it back.
But can she hold things up?
Just because Evie's here doesn't mean she's gonna try something.
What if she files some kind of emergency motion or stay or something?
The most she could do is ask for some kind of formal visitation agreement.
What's that?
Well, it would allow her to be involved in Ned's life a little. Just birthdays, holidays.
Oh, God.
Well, she can't take him back.
No, Ned is your son, and he's staying that way. But you should have your lawyer inform Evie that there'll be no more unscheduled visits.
If there's nothing to worry about, then why do we need to call our lawyer?
Just take it easy, Jillian. Evie's parental rights have been terminated. There's nothing she can do.
I'm sorry I didn't want to leave him alone in there.
Yes, of course. Hi, sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mama's here, Nettie. Mama's here. Yeah. How are you? Yeah.
Is that really necessary?
No physical contact. We can't terminate the visit at any time. Otherwise, you got 20 minutes.
Hi. I'm Vincent Gray from the Examiner.
Hi. My name's Frank Lee.
Thanks for meeting with me.
Are you going to get me out of here?
I'm not sure I can do that.
Because other lawyers said that we could maybe make an appeal.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm a reporter.
Tell them I promised to go to school. I won't ditch.
I'll listen to Janine. I'll do whatever she says.
Do you know why you're in here?
It wasn't my idea to rob the quick shop. It was Tony's. He said no one would get hurt. And I didn't know about the gun.
Your lawyer told me that you're serving 4 years.
Yeah. But Tony, he only got long lane. But he had the gun. It's not fair.
No, it probably isn't.
Can you help me? You can tell him about the gun.
Yeah, maybe I can. I mean, I want to tell your story.
I'm missing school. I was supposed to make a relief map. Of South America, I missed Duncan's class.
Maybe they'll let you hand it in late.
You think? I miss my family.
That man that was killed, he had a family too.
It's just that this girl has spent her entire childhood in foster care.
Miss Gray, Maxine, when you gave this to me 2 weeks ago, you must have known I couldn't possibly be ready by Saturday.
I know. Yes. But Susanna wants to be adopted before her 18th birthday in 3 weeks.
We are talking about half a city block near the West End, right on the Fulham Road. My client would, what is the word, kill me if I stayed in Hartford an extra day and botched this.
You show up for court at noon. You get on a plane 1 hour later. 2 at most.
In midday traffic? I don't drive that fast.
We'll provide a car at our expense.
DCF is going to send a car for me?
Maxine Gray is going to send a card. I'll pay out of pocket.
Sorry, no.
Ms. Lansdowne, I have been with DCF for over 30 years. I've seen my share of pressing cases, and I've made many of them work, one way or another, because lives were at stake or something was about to be done that couldn't be undone. Just this once. I would like to see the system provide more than food and shelter and basic safety. I would like this once to see us grant a wish.
He didn't even understand I was a reporter.
Well, Frank's 14. He doesn't understand much. I'm not saying that my client's a saint. I mean, he was right there when his friend executed that store clerk. But Frank didn't kill anyone. There's still a shred of a human being left. But if he goes to prison, you can pretty much write his life off.
So why is he in a juvenile facility? How does something like this happen?
I have my suspicions.
Well, share them.
It's politics.
You mean politicians?
Can we go off the record?
Okay.
I can't prove anything, but after Columbine, I noticed that a couple of judges were shifting a lot more juvenile cases to adult court.
Who benefits from that?
Someone who said he's going to run for Congress on a get tough law and order platform. Someone who's already risen to the top position in the Hartford Judicial District.
Why haven't you spoken up about this?
Like I said, I have no proof. And a defense attorney doesn't go around making accusations like that against the most powerful judge in the county. Not if he knows what's good for his clients.
Who's the judge?
The Right Honorable Clarence Faraday.
Yeah, I think I've heard that name.
Of course you have. He's your sister's boss.
Okay. That's 24 adoptions, you alone, and there might be some spillover from other judges.
Up or down?
Down. Faraday's very excited about this, you know. Not gonna get any credit.
Well, that's not what I'm in it for. Earrings?
Judge Gray, I'm really not comfortable in the girlfriend role.
Right. Sorry.
But I'm sure your date's gonna go fine.
Judge Gray?
I'm sorry, Judge Gray's about to leave for the day.
No, that's okay, Bruce. I'll see you tomorrow. What can I do for you, Evie?
Are you handling the adoption?
No, I'm not.
Oh. Well, I know it's happening tomorrow, and I kind of wanted to be there for it.
Well, that's up to Peter and Jillian.
They'll just say no.
That's their right.
I might have made a mistake giving up my baby. Do you think Jillian and Peter are going to be good parents?
I think they are.
Well, Jillian seemed a little drunk the other night. Does she drink often?
Jillian's an excellent mother. What's more, she and Peter are the only parents that Ned has ever known.
Well, I have this friend
who's a lawyer, and he was telling me that maybe I could get visitation so I'd be allowed to see Ned sometimes.
Yes, that's true.
What if I did that?
Well, it would mean that you and Peter and Jillian would work out some kind of an agreement, schedule certain dates, and stick to them. You can't just show up whenever you want to.
And if I found the father, he'd have certain rights too?
Yes, of course, biological fathers always have certain rights, but that...
I was just wondering.
Evie, what you're proposing is not necessarily in the best interest of the child.
So then I was in this big Wall Street firm, and our specialty was defending our slimy corporate weasels from the depredations of slightly more slimy corporate weasels.
Someone's got to protect the weasels.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't God's work.
I always knew I didn't have the disposition for a high-pressure job. Kind of drove my parents crazy. 4 years at Wesleyan and you're gonna open a dojo? But I think of it as being a small business owner.
Well, how'd you get interested in karate?
Like anyone else, Bruce Lee movies. The obsession grew from there. I became interested in all kinds of Eastern philosophies. Spent some time in China, so I kind of picked up the language.
You kind of picked up Chinese. For me, that usually involves Mugu Gai Pan from the Peking Moon.
Didn't they change the name of that place to Beijing?
Well, now you're showing off. Well, in retrospect, the one nice thing about working in corporate law was that on some level, it just didn't matter.
There must have been all those millions of dollars at stake.
If I filed late for the SEC, no 6-year-old would get molested by her stepfather. If I drew up an imperfect contract, it wouldn't give some sadist the chance to pour cough syrup in his son's ear until he passed out.
God.
Well, you're the black belt. You got any wax on, wax off wisdom for me?
All I know is kids grow up powerless. That's what we're all angry about. I try to create a place for my kids where they have power, strength, will. Maybe that's what you do. That absolutely did not help you at all, did it?
No. No, actually it did. Thanks.
Anyone ever tell you look good in winter?
Can you say that in Mandarin?
These times are trying. Inside I'm smiling. I wanna feel the way I used
What's going on? I saw the news last night. They said light showers.
Light showers and freezing rain.
What the hell is freezing rain anyway? Is that polite for golf ball-sized sleet? You look terrible.
My car wouldn't start.
Oh, no. You walked?
In the freezing rain.
Well, it's just as well. The roads are a mess. My hair is a mess. Everything's a mess. You getting sick?
I'm sure it's just allergies.
We should just cancel this whole thing.
Yo, whoa, whoa, young man, slow down.
This is not quite what I pictured.
Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Oh, look, the scary guy from Channel 10.
I've had nightmares about that tooth factor.
People ask me, Judge Faraday, why are you doing this? And I tell them, adoption day is all about the kids. It's all about family.
Do you have any anti-nausea drugs?
Let's get out of here.
Oh, there's one of our esteemed judges now. Judge Gray.
Judge Gray, how does it feel to be participating in this joyful event?
Fine, but I'm not the judge. She is.
Judge, what does it feel like to be making history here in Hartford?
Well, it feels good. Really extremely good.
How many adoptions do you hope to process today?
Well, we're looking at about 200, and we're hoping to...
Can we cut, please? I'm sorry, but she's not coming across so well. Let's go back to Judge Faraday.
Baby. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
You can hang meat in here.
Maintenance didn't get the memo about this weekend, so all the furnaces are shut down.
Well, who the hell let that fall through the cracks?
We did.
Oh, really?
But they've put in space heaters in all the courtrooms. So.
I have a brilliant idea. Talk me out of it.
So how'd it go?
What?
Date with the Karate Kid.
He's just a few years younger than me.
You never mentioned he was younger.
No, I mean he's 25-ish. He's very mature. Besides, it wasn't really a date. It was more like an outing.
An outing? What is this, a Jane Austen novel?
Oh, God, Bruce, I can't go out with my daughter's karate teacher. He's a kid.
It's okay if you like him. It's a rebound. Everybody gets one. You know, the person that you have fun with, but you have no intention of settling down with. It's allowed.
It is? What happens in a rebound relationship?
Mostly sex.
I'm not going to sleep with my daughter's karate teacher. That's insane. I want a real relationship.
Okay, forget I mentioned it.
Honestly. Who are you calling?
Checking your messages.
Oh. Anything?
No.
Oh.
I'll just go fire up the space heater.
Thanks.
What if she doesn't come? She'll come. We talked yesterday, and I set a car for her.
I knew this wasn't going to work out. It's the story of my life.
Lawyers. Always late. Oh, Marjorie, am I glad to see you.
You owe me big.
This is Alice and Jess Jankel.
Where's the girl?
Susanna, this is your attorney, Marjorie Lansdowne, and the twins and their attorney, Joseph Coeur.
Nice to meet you. Are we still on schedule?
12 o'clock. It's confirmed.
Good, because I don't want any surprises. I'm gonna get some coffee.
Well, she doesn't have the best possible bedside manner, but in just a few minutes, you will be one big happy family.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry about the temperature, Mr. and Mrs. Plattner, but that won't prevent us from getting on with the business at hand, which is making Megan your officially adopted daughter. Now, I see you brought some other people with you today. Would you like to introduce yourself, you guys?
These are our sons, Stephen and Jeffrey. They were adopted last year.
Oh, and now it's Megan's turn. Megan, are you excited?
I'm cold.
Yes, we're all cold. So we'll try to do this as quickly as possible. Now, once I issue the adoption certificate, Megan will be your real daughter and must be treated in all respects as your lawful child. You will bear the same rights and responsibility towards her as you do towards your other children.
We understand.
Before I sign the certificate, let me just say, on a personal note, what a pleasure it is to meet people like yourselves who open your hearts and your homes to children in need. Families are the touchstone of our society.
Judge Gray, I'm sorry.
We've been through this twice already, and with the weather so bad, we like to just get on the road while we still can.
Of course. Well, then, by order of this court, by the power invested in me by the County of Hartford and the State of Connecticut, I hereby sign and issue the adoption certificate for Megan Louise Plattner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, would she like a teddy bear?
We already got some, thank you.
Well, I'm just all choked up.
You've got 23 more families. You'll have your moment.
I'm sorry I'm so late. Buses aren't moving. I had to walk. It's sleeting like crazy.
Really? I thought it was freezing rain. So, how's the story going? You didn't call last night. I figured you were onto something.
I've kind of a situation.
Didn't you talk to Frank Lee?
Yeah, I talked to him. Look, Carol, I can't do this piece.
What? Why?
Because I can't. This is a good story, and somebody should follow up on it, but it can't be me.
Vincent,
I insisted on you writing the story. This will look really bad for me.
I know. I'm sorry. This is much bigger than we imagined. It's a political thing. It goes way up the ladder.
Wait a second, high-level corruption? This is getting really good.
Well, yeah.
Vincent, this is a career-making story. You don't just walk away from something like this. I won't let you.
I would have to go on record accusing the top judicial figure in the county of political expedience. Even if I wanted to, the whole thing would be tainted by association. I need you to trust me on this. So much for trust.
Trust comes from people being reliable.
I was hoping you'd understand.
You're doing this to protect your sister, aren't you? Vincent, are you ever going to be willing to put yourself first?
I can't answer that.
Then no one else will either.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jan Kell, someone has been looking out for you. My docket has been full and locked up for some time now.
We've been lucky, Your Honor.
Now, today I'm signing off on the adoptions of Ginny, Todd, as well as Susanna. All lawyers present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let's get the formalities out of the way. First, in the matter of Susanna, Miss Lansdowne has submitted all of the necessary papers. Now, Susanna, you realize you're being adopted and that you will, from this day forward, be considered the legal child of Alice and Jess Jan Kell.
Yes, sir.
Mr. and Mrs. Jan Kell, you realize that Susanna is entitled to all rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then, to the matter of the twins, Ginny and Todd. Do you understand that you're being adopted by the Jan Kells, and do you agree with these terms?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Todd, what do you mean?
No, I don't want to be adopted.
Todd, since you're 12, you can't be adopted without your consent. Now, you realize your statement will be recorded and cannot be recanted.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, with his parents' permission, I'd like an opportunity to speak with Todd.
All right, but only 10 minutes, Miss Gray. We've got a lot of adoptions to get to.
Come
on, Nettie. Wave to Daddy. Come on, this is your big day. Come on, give us a big smile. You too, Mommy.
My jaw is starting to hurt, honey.
Okay, I'll give you a break. And here we have all the other families, adopted boys and girls. Everybody's very excited. They're all dressed up. Oh, God.
What?
I saw her.
Who? Evie?
You never told anyone you didn't want to be adopted.
Well, nobody asked.
Don't you like the Jankels?
Sure, they're nice.
Well, don't you want to stay with them and grow up in their house?
Sure.
Then why don't you want to be adopted?
Because then Alice would be my mom, and I already have a mom.
Your mom has been gone for a long time.
I know. She left us in a grocery store, I remember. She told us to wait by the cereal. So we waited for like 2 hours. But she never came.
Honey, it's been 8 years. We haven't heard a word from your mother.
But you can't promise she'll never come back.
No, I can't.
Can I live with the Jankels even if I'm not adopted?
Yes?
Okay, then I don't want to be adopted because if my mom ever comes back, then I don't want to be her kid again.
Can Tina actually freeze?
Apparently so.
Hey, am I interrupting?
Just having some tuna Slurpees.
Vincent, I didn't think you'd be able to come.
Oh, no problem. Just to mush the ice sled on over.
Well, what about your story?
I kind of fell through.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know it was a big deal.
It's okay. Gotta be doing this anyway.
Okay, I'll just go chisel the ice off your bench. Back in 5.
Is Carol coming?
Nah, I doubt it.
Things are pretty busy, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad you could come.
Look. I know things have been kind of tense between us lately. I guess it just happens when people actually start living their lives, which is I haven't been doing up until now. So we're probably going to continue to disagree about stuff. But I just wanted to tell you, I really respect you. And I think what you do is incredible.
Vincent, I really needed to hear that.
And also, I love you.
Oh. Oh, my God.
And also, your nose is running.
This? I besmirched the sleeve of justice.
It's off the record.
Okay, that's it. Congratulations.
Okay, that's it. 24 cases finalized, and you have 10 minutes before Ned's adoption.
Good work. Go home, Bruce. You're sick.
Thank you. Judge Gray, about today.
It was a disaster, I know.
Made me proud what I do. Thank you.
Oh. Well, thank you, too. It's for your daughter.
Oh, by the way, he called.
Who?
Rebound Rob.
Oh. Thanks.
Peter and Jillian, congratulations on your big day. And welcome to the whole extended family. Well, I see all your paperwork is in order. I would expect no less from such a legal family. I also see that Ned has gotten his teddy bear, which is very important. I'm sorry, this is a closed proceeding unless you're with the family.
No, she's not.
Who are you, young lady? Do you care to identify yourself?
I'm the, Nobody. I just wanted to watch.
Well, that's up to the parents.
She can stay.
Then let's proceed. Peter, Jillian, once I issue this decree, Ned will become your son in every sense of the word. You bear all legal responsibilities towards him, including rights of inheritance. Is that understood?
Yes.
Yes.
And we'll have to assume that Ned would agree to be adopted if he could speak. So by the power vested in me by the County of Hartford, the state of Connecticut, I issue this adoption certificate. Edward Matthew Gray is all yours. Congratulations. Oh, please, Peter, let me do that.
Ain't it always in the back of your mind? How every little thing gets so complicated. Call out to the wind for an answer, but silence was the wind's reply. Sometimes the mystery makes me cry.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, Amy faces a difficult decision in her personal life. Judging Amy is next on TNT.
I don't know why I'm doing this. One of the advantages of being married is that you get to be fat.
You're doing it so you live to be 90?
Another advantage of being married is you no longer want to live to be 90.
Good point.
So how was your date with the karate kid?
It wasn't a date.
Excuse me, how was it when you two went to the same place at the same time and ate food at the same table and he paid?
It was fine.
Oh, fine. Fine's very helpful. I feel just like I was there.
You know, it was cute, but...
Cute butt's a good start.
No, cute, comma, but, dot, dot, dot.
So what's wrong with him?
He's Lauren's karate teacher.
So what?
And he's young.
Young's not a handicap. Face it, how many guys our age do you meet that you want to sleep with?
Are you kidding? Try a couple years of celibacy. That guy next door with the 3 teeth in the walker, he's looking pretty good to me. Hey, Michael has Lauren tonight. You wanna go to a movie and you can point out all the young guys with cute butts?
Sorry, I can't. It's family board game night.
Family what?
Every Tuesday we stay at home and play a game. It's one thing we try to do as a family. It's hokey, I know.
No, it sounds nice.
Well, we make up our own rules. I mean, like Monopoly, the kids trade junk food for hotels, and if they roll doubles 3 times in a row, they get out of chores for the week. I'm usually out first. So I pop popcorn and make nachos, and I think the guy's cheap, but I haven't figured out how. See, that's another reason for you to have a fling, because I can't see you making nachos and playing board games.
I could do that.
Amy, enjoy the karate teacher and then tell me about it in lurid detail. Come on, let's get this over with.
look at me. I don't even like the marshmallow things.
Mommy,
Well, they're not good for you anyway.
then they're not good for you either.
No, studies show that once you hit 20, they actually become good for you.
Don't take it personally. She tries that stuff on me, too.
Hey.
Hi. Morning, Vincent.
I guess I missed running with you.
Yeah, I got up early and went with my friend Lolly.
I'm pretty sure you can be disbarred for having a friend named Lolly.
Is her last name Pop?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Who ate all the marshmallow things?
Mommy, Leisha says that sugar is nature's narcotic. What's narcotic?
Get your breakfast. You're gonna be late.
I'll drive you to school. Seems I have more time in the mornings without Socrates.
I hate riding with Grandma. She blows her horn at people.
Oh, be nice to Grandma. She loves spending time with you. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we surprise Grandma by getting her a new dog?
Really?
Amy.
What? She loved having a pet.
You mean like today?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get off early. We'll go to the pound. We'll see what they got.
Coolio, you're the best mom in world history.
There you go.
What?
And then you have a preliminary hearing for the truancy case, but the ASA is Maureen, no show Mo Thompson.
So that could go away quickly. What would happen if I wanted to go home early?
Depends. You bring a note from home?
Daddy!
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm coming back early.
Really?
Yeah.
You remember Mia?
Yeah, of course. It's good to see you again.
You too, Judge Gray.
I'll be there in a minute.
Right. Take your time.
You weren't supposed to be back until next week.
I know. But the tile guy ordered the wrong route, and the painters didn't show up, and it was a mess. So we came back. Is there a problem?
No. I'm always glad to see both of you. Just a little unprepared.
Well, don't worry. I'll entertain Rebecca. Or you could play hooky and go with us to the zoo.
Yeah, Daddy, why don't you?
I have to work.
Daddy's no fun, is he?
Daddy would be a lot less fun if he were unemployed.
Okay, then. We'll see you later.
Bye, Daddy.
No, bye, sweetheart. Mia, I want her back by 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Mia, we need to talk.
Fine. Come on, sweetie, let's go.
Thanks. He's a nice-looking boy.
Smart boy, too. Used to be one of my best students. Care for any of this powdered napalm?
No, thanks. I'm trying to quit. Evan is no longer a good student.
Over the last 6 months, he's lost over 50% of his hearing, and his grades have gone down proportionately. I met with his parents. They're at a loss. The doctors have run every test in the book and can't come up with anything physiological.
How did you get from there to DCF?
There's something wrong here. I had Evan's older brother, Scott, and his sister, Ashley. And there's a trend. Cute, smart children with everything in the world going for them. Yet they cower like whip puppies.
Do you suspect physical abuse?
I've never seen any bruises on them. And the parents are like Mr. and Mrs. Model Citizen. I didn't have any real reason to call you. But you and I have been in the trenches a long time. And when I tell you that my gut tells me something's wrong, I know you understand what I'm talking about.
I'll go exploring, see what turns up.
This is an emergency custody hearing in the matter of 13-month-old Sally Wilborn. DCF alleges that her mother, Miss Jackie Wilborn, who is HIV positive, is endangering her infant daughter by breastfeeding her. This child is currently in DCF custody, so the question is, do we have sufficient evidence that the child is in imminent physical danger? Counsel?
Ms. Wilborn is an activist for the contrarian stance that HIV does not cause AIDS, Your Honor. She believes that the disease is caused by, among other things, the drugs used to treat it. She's going to tell you that she doesn't want the child tested because she does not want the child treated by AIDS-causing drugs, but she's primarily putting on a show to hype her own movement and her soon-to-be-published book, both of which are apparently more important to her than her daughter's life.
Your Honor, in the first place, the only reason anyone knows Ms. Wilborn is HIV positive is that she revealed that information. The state is not allowed to violate her rights because she chose to go public.
What right is the state violating, Your Honor? Her right to give her daughter a fatal disease? I haven't read my Constitution for a while, but I don't remember that one.
And in the second place, Your Honor, the so-called contrarian view is held by a number of highly respected doctors engaged in leading-edge research.
And you'll be putting one of those highly respected doctors on the stand to explain it to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which the state will counter with its own highly respected doctor, Your Honor.
Okay, then. Round up the experts.
Oh, look!
Amy, no, we're not going to get a Socrates clone. We'll have a complex by the time we get to the car.
I love this one. Look at him, Mommy. He's so cute. Please, Mommy.
No, Lauren. I want us to look at all of them before we decide.
But we've bonded.
Yeah, pound dogs bond easily. You'll bond with somebody else.
Miss Gray, I am Vicki Spencer, your adoption counselor.
Oh, hi. I didn't know we had an adoption counselor.
You want to come with me, please?
I notice you live with your mother. She here?
I know she's still at work, but this is my daughter Lauren, and
no men in the household.
No. This is my brother Vincent, but
You're single?
Yes.
Widowed or divorced?
What difference does that make?
Well, I need to understand the household. How long have you lived with your mother?
Frankly, I don't see why any of this is relevant. I thought you people would be grateful that we're volunteering to give a home to an unwanted dog.
Well, I'll be grateful once I'm convinced it's a forever home.
Oh, bye now. Congratulations.
Oh. So if I were married to an investment banker and my shoes matched my bag, then I'd be going home with the dog right now.
Amy.
I thought we'd be saving a dog from the gas chamber.
Miss Gray, we are not a high-kill facility.
Well, no one checked my qualifications before I had a baby.
They didn't?
Miss Gray, we are obligated to give our dogs the best possible home. We have certain standards.
Are you saying my home is substandard?
No. I've never been to your home, have I? Now, are you interested in Prissy or not? If you are, we can set up an evaluation.
I'm interested.
Yes! Thanks, Mom. This won't be like the hamster. I promise.
Dr. McCrae, if HIV doesn't cause AIDS, then what does, according to your theory?
I don't believe there is any one cause. I suspect that it's brought on by several simultaneous strains on the immune system, such as lifestyle, recreational drug use, the drug cocktails given to HIV patients, especially protease inhibitors.
You are aware that the vast majority of the scientific community considers you way off base and, in fact, dangerous?
Yes. I suspect that you, like most people, have bought the oversimplified hype created and sustained by the AIDS industry. And it is an industry.
Please enlighten me.
The so-called AIDS test does not test for the AIDS virus. It tests for the presence of antibodies. A person could test positive for antibodies and still not have developed AIDS 20 years later. And there is absolutely no scientific data that proves HIV causes AIDS. All scientists can prove is that there is a strong correlation between HIV and AIDS.
Why are there no mainstream doctors who agree with you?
The AIDS establishment has made certain that we do not get the funding to challenge them. And they publish articles calling us kooks so the public won't believe us.
Dr. McCrae, can you prove that breastfeeding does not transfer HIV?
No, nor can the other side prove that it does.
That's Scott. He's in boarding school, college prep.
He's home on weekends.
I see. Does he like boarding school?
Oh, he loves it. You know, kids that age, he loves having his own life. No nosy parents looking over his shoulder.
Just nosy teachers and proctors.
Evan's hearing loss began around the same time that Scott left, so we thought there might be some sort of connection, you know.
But we sent him to shrinks, and they're as mystified as we are.
Evan, how do you feel about Scott being away at school?
You have to get closer.
Evan, do you miss Scott when he's not here?
I like Scott being away from home. His friends are jerks.
They tease you and tell you to get lost.
How'd you know?
I have an older brother myself. Some things never change. Evan, do you wish that Scott was still living here at home?
I guess. Are you a detective?
Well, yes, in a way. I'm trying to solve the mystery of Evan's hearing problem. Do you have any ideas?
Not yet. But I want to be a detective when I grow up.
What if I appoint you my assistant on this mystery? And you can call me if you find any clues, okay?
Okay.
Someone would be at home with the dog. You know, a great deal of the time. Okay. I will take the dog to work or put it in doggy daycare or I'll figure it out. Listen, can I call you back? Great. You believe I have to prove myself worthy of a dog?
An ugly dog.
It's not that ugly.
Amy, what's this all about?
I want a pet. Is that so weird?
No, you're right. It's not weird. I mean, it seemed weird for a minute, but...
So how's Carol?
Let's see. It's Wednesday. Yeah, I think she's speaking to me.
You know, I know it's none of my business, but do you really want to be in a relationship like that?
Like what?
You know, fighting all the time.
We don't fight all the time. Well, Carol's a real person with a life and a whole bunch of opinions. Sometimes we clash. That's inevitable.
But you're young. You don't have that much baggage. I don't think it should be that hard.
Anything worth having is hard.
Saying I didn't work hard enough at my marriage?
That's like projectile projecting.
I'm sorry. So this thing with Carol's is part of your ongoing epiphany?
I don't know. It's entirely possible that I'm in love with her.
Oh. Good. Good. I'm really happy for you. So what I hear is you're mad at me for being spontaneous.
That's not it.
That has always been it. I don't live according to your plan. I'm not you, Bruce.
Mia, this is not going to be our usual sniping at each other lunch that never solves anything. This is different. This is the lunch where I tell you I am sick of this half-ass relationship. It's hard on me. It's hard on our daughter. Can't be easy for you either.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying I want you to make a commitment. I know it's a scary word for you, but I want a real family. And if I'm never going to have that with you, then I want you to stop taking the place where someone else could be.
Oh. So anyone would do?
Of course not. I've always wanted it to be you, ever since our first date, if you recall. I've given you 8 years and 3,000 miles of space. But it's time to move on.
Well, that sounds like an ultimatum.
Because it is.
Okay. Then I'll let you know.
Ma, come on.
I will feed him and walk him and brush him, and you won't even know he's here.
Now, where have I heard this before? Oh, yes, this is what you said about Socrates. Lasted for 3 days.
Give me a break. I'm an adult now.
That only means I can't dock your allowance when the creature pees on the floor.
Mom, I grew up with a dog. I want Lauren to grow up with a dog. It means a lot to her.
Then how come she's not the one in here begging?
Okay, fine. Diminish the quality of my daughter's life. It's your karma. What if he's an outdoor dog?
All right, that's your work. Yeah, again, that's one of my favorites. Oh, here we go.
Oh no, not this one.
Yeah.
I refuse to give Lauren quarters for this because it's totally rigged. You can't win.
Oh, you're wrong. I'm very good at this. I know all the secrets.
Such as?
Well, you have to pick the right target, right? It's not always the one that's obvious. You have to look at the feet. If the feet are wedged in, forget it.
You've given this way more thought than it deserves.
You like the frog? I can get it.
Yeah, sure you can. This be a good time to tickle you?
Not if you want the frog.
Oh, you got it.
Not yet. Now I got him.
Wow. No one's ever given me their frog before. I don't know what to say.
Another reason I like this game, it's a great metaphor. We never know when we're gonna get snatched up out of our mundane lives and drop down a chute into a whole new world.
No, we don't.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, girl?
I haven't done this since high school.
Neither have I.
Really?
Well, not since college.
I'm remembering why people do this in high school.
And it's even better without the girl's kid brother peeking down the stairs.
I don't know. That had its own kinky charm. I think I gotta go.
No, you don't.
It's a school night.
You said Lauren's with Michael.
I mean, a school night for me.
Are you sure?
No. But I want to go before I'm even less sure. I had a great time. Really, I just need to go home.
Okay. I understand.
And the lunch special is roast beef au gris. And the soup of the day is a color you haven't seen since the last time you stepped on a caterpillar.
What's up with you?
What do you mean?
You've been uncharacteristically whimsical all morning.
I know, it's weird. I should be in a horrible mood.
Because?
Well, I gave Mia the ultimatum. I said, it's either me and you or me and someone who looks a lot like you.
What'd she say?
She said she'll let me know.
And that's why you're in such a good mood?
I guess so.
Because you're ready for it to be over?
I'm ready for it to be different.
This is my detective ID. My mom glued that picture on for me. This is a stamp pad I use for fingerprints. And this is my wig for when I need to be undercover.
Well, it looks like you've thought of everything. What's that?
Oh, this is the best. It's my secret spy pen. It looks like a pen, but watch. Say something.
What a lovely day for the young master to be returning from his travels. What a lovely day for the young master to be returning from his travels.
What will they think of next?
That's my second one. Evan borrowed the first one and lost it. He can be such a stoop.
Stoop?
You know, stupid. He loses everything. Fool doesn't have the brain God gave a turnip.
That's not a very nice way to talk about your brother.
But it's the truth. He's not worth the salt in his bread.
Ashley, I have to tell you something serious. Detectives notice things other people miss. That's what makes them good. There's something upsetting Evan. That's why he's having problems. If you notice something upsetting him, you let me know, okay?
He's great. Evan's finished his homework, so you can talk to him now.
Oh, good. Good.
I did it.
What?
You know, with the Karate Kid.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So what, are you dating him now?
Well, I don't know. I didn't mean for it to happen, but it was supposed to be a casual, non-date. But, you know, we were eating Thai food, and he played the crane machine, and he won me a frog. And then the next thing I know, I was drinking cheap Merlot and thinking, thank God I shaved my legs.
Well, all that shows an admirable lack of class for someone with your resume.
Oh, my God. I got seduced for less than $40. I hadn't even thought of that.
So? Was it great?
He's my daughter's karate teacher.
Oh, come on. Don't let your guilt ruin it for me.
All right. You know, it was not bad.
How not bad?
Well, I'm not a tough critic.
Amy.
It was 4.5 stars, okay? I think I might have permanently damaged my vocal cords. But that is all you were gonna get, because this cannot possibly be a good thing.
Oh, Amy, are you nuts? You're having a terrific time with a funny guy who's great looking and could kill your ex-husband with one foot. What's your problem?
It isn't what I would have planned.
Okay, well, Michael was exactly what you had planned, and where did that get you?
Oh! Just because I am the oldest person on staff does not mean I am thereby in charge of office maintenance. It's... Well, the Marilla children, hello. You must be Scott. I'm Maxine Gray.
Hi. Do you have some time to talk to us?
Of course.
When I was 7 months pregnant, my obstetrician was worried I might be anemic. He did a blood test, and I discovered that I was HIV positive.
And what did your obstetrician recommend?
He wanted to give me a protease inhibitor.
Which you refused to take.
Objection!
Miss Toller, don't make us reinvent the wheel. We all know why we're here. Miss Wilburn, why did you refuse your doctor's instructions?
Protease inhibitors are highly toxic. This was the same doctor that told me that aspirin could cause birth defects. So I did a little research, looking for somebody with a different approach, and I found Dr. McCrae.
And Dr. McCrae told you to continue breastfeeding your baby.
Dr. McCrae doesn't believe that HIV causes AIDS. And she thought it would be better for Sally's immune system. Judge Gray, may I say something? I love Sally very much. Everything I did because I truly believe that the orthodox view is endangering people, and it's endangering my child. As a mother, I would do whatever I had to protect Sally. I am not trying to hurt her to prove a point. I am trying to save her life.
I think Evan's problem started when I left because I used to be the peacemaker, you know? I used to be able to stop a lot of it.
A lot of what?
This may sound nuts, but I think Evan's going deaf just because I don't think he wants to hear it anymore.
You're going to have to tell me what you're talking about.
not easy now. You've turned them all into you. Whiny, neurotic, crazy, and
please.
stupid.
If any of us are crazy, it's from living with you. You know, they had to lock you up somewhere and throw away the key. That's what they
Why don't you just get the hell out, stop threatening, and just go?
No, because unlike you, I give a damn what happens in this family. You don't give a damn. Go walk out the door like you. Go walk out.
I don't give a damn.
No,
So every night I'm fighting for these kids.
You don't give a damn. You're the one having
Hi, stranger.
Tom. Well, I'm not the one lurking in the shadows.
I would have just called, but I figured stalking is more romantic. How have you been?
Good. Fine. How about you?
Great. I'm leaving. The law. I mean, my brother talked me into investing in this startup. He swears we'll be going public before I've had a chance to pick out office furniture.
Congratulations.
That's not why I'm doing it. I was ready for a break. This job is, well, you know. I'm ready to do something a little less bludgeoning for a while. So I was thinking about you and our conflict of interest, which won't exist anymore. I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner. Or are you seeing somebody?
No. Not really.
Good.
But I need a little time to think about this. Okay?
Okay. Well, you know how to reach me.
This is a complicated and convoluted case. However, it is not my job to settle this dispute or to come down on one side or the other. It is my job to consider the best interests of the child. Ms. Wilborn, I understand your concern over giving your daughter a highly toxic drug that you are not convinced she needs. But it is not right that you refuse to have her tested and hope that it all turns out for the best. When you have a child, your freedom to experiment becomes restricted. And part of the social contract is that you will be legislated into following someone else's best thinking, even when you don't agree with it. Now, granted, thalidomide was scientists' best thinking at the time, but so was the polio vaccine. And as a judge, I have to go with the preponderance of evidence and trust that it will provide the greatest degree of safety for your child. Miss Wilborn, I can't order you to stop breastfeeding. But I am willing to return your child to you if you will agree to stop breastfeeding pending the results of a thorough medical examination, including HIV screening.
I would agree to that.
I'm going to ask DCF to follow up and see if you comply, and if you don't, I will return the child to the custody of DCF for her own protection. Okay. I'll see everyone back here when the results are in.
I can't believe the way you behave. Yeah, no. One of these days, I'm leaving you psycho bastards. Yeah, you can raise these damn children yourself. If you think it's so damn easy, you go do it.
It's not easy now. You've turned them all into you. Whiny, neurotic, crazy, and
please.
stupid.
If any of us are crazy, it's come.
Oh, this is lazy-ass government garbage. Everybody in America yells, and everybody's kids aren't going deaf.
Different children react differently. Evan is very sensitive. But frankly, Mr. Marilla, all of your children show behavioral indications of abuse.
What? Okay, wait a minute. I don't understand this. Now, we might yell at each other every now and then. We may even yell at them. But we don't hit them. And they know that we love them.
Verbal violence is violence, no matter where it's directed. Sometimes words can hit harder than fists.
Oh, I love the government coming into my house and telling me how I can talk to my wife and kids. What's next? You're going to put video cameras in the bedroom?
How do you talk to your kids, Mr. Marilla? Because I've heard Ashley calling Evan things like fool and stoop, and I was wondering where she picked that up.
We lose our tempers, okay? We say things. Everybody does.
No, Mrs. Marilla, everybody doesn't. Everyone gets angry, but not everyone uses words like stupid and psycho. Everyone doesn't say things with the intention of making their spouse or their child feel as bad about himself as they possibly can. But you're going to learn so that Evan won't go deaf. If I have to camp out in your front yard, I will. It's all in a lazy-ass day of government work for me.
You seem to have this lurking thing.
Actually, I'm an habitual loiterer. I've tried 12-step groups, but maybe too late.
Well, the first step is admitting you have the problem.
Tried my last case today.
How'd you do?
I won. Guess you'd call it that. I placed an emotionally disturbed child with his emotionally disturbed grandmother. Sometimes it feels like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
Those days are over for you now.
And I don't think I'm gonna miss them. I'll miss running into you. So, why don't we make a date to go out? It wouldn't have to be romantic. It could just be friendly until you get smart and dump this other guy.
You make a strong case, counselor.
You serious about him? What's he do?
He's an artist.
Wow. Sounds way more interesting than a washed-up lawyer with 2 kids.
That's not really how you see yourself.
Amy, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't kick myself for letting you go. I understood the conflict, but I think I could have fought harder, argued my case more convincingly. No, listen, no. I was married for 12 years, and I never saw myself in a position of looking for a partner again. When I met you, this whole world of possibility opened up for me. I thought, gee, maybe this isn't the end of romance. Tell me I haven't missed my chance.
I don't know.
Mia.
Rebecca is spending the night with her friend Danielle. I told her it was okay. I know it's a school night, but I thought it would be best if she weren't here.
What are you doing?
Packing. You know, from never having lived here, I sure have accumulated a lot of stuff.
So you're leaving?
Why are you so surprised? It's what you wanted.
Of course it's not what I wanted.
Oh, I know. You wanted me to shape up and turn into someone I'm not and act conventional and give up all my silly ambitions and have dinner on the table when you get home.
What are you talking about, Mia? What, are you making this up? I never asked you.
You have been trying to change me since high school. And I think you're starting to get it that you might not succeed.
Look, you don't have to give up anything. You can stay in New York during the week, run your business, and come home on the weekends and we can...
And what?
and we can be a family. What's wrong with that?
I don't want to be a family. I grew up in a family. It's stifling and oppressive, and people say they want you to be yourself. But what they really want is for you to be their version of who you are.
You can't blame me for your parents, man. It doesn't have to be that way for us.
You know what? You might be right. And I started thinking about that. Maybe I could ease into this and not scare myself to death. But you couldn't wait for that. You know what? I'm gonna get the rest of my stuff tomorrow while you're at work. And I will have my attorney call about Rebecca and a visitation schedule.
You don't want to do this.
Bruce. Go find someone who wants what you want. It won't be hard, huh?
My advice to you is run.
Vincent used to wash dogs for a living, so he could be helpful, of course.
I see.
Hey, Percy seems to have some kind of ear infection.
Yes, we have him on antibiotics.
Yeah, but there are a lot of resistant strains. You should probably get a culture done.
See? Listen to him. He knows stuff.
Well, there's no fence around the yard. You got a high level of traffic on your street.
Well, we won't let him out in the yard.
I can't keep him cooped up in here.
You know, Lauren and I can walk him.
That's right. Long walks. They're very good at walking.
Socrates lived to a ripe old age without ever leaving the yard.
That's another concern I have, Mrs. Gray. You sure you're emotionally ready for a new dog?
I am not emotionally ready for 90% of what happens to me. But still, I survive.
Yes. But do you want a new dog?
Miss Spencer, can I talk to you outside for a minute?
Okay.
Great. You need to understand this, okay? You need the entire context because, you know, it's really not about whether the yard needs to be fenced in or who's going to be home with the dog or any of that petty crap. I mean, this is really about what happened to my life. See, I was smart growing up, and that was my first problem because no one wants to let a smart kid lead a normal life. So you got to get the best grades and get in the right classes, and then you're valedictorian, and then next thing you know, you're Ivy Leagued up the nostrils, and everybody's patting you on the back, and then you're on Harvard Law Review, and you know, blah blah blah, and then you're married to Mr. Look Good at the time, and okay, so I took one wrong turn, or two. Well, several, actually. But the point is that I grew up in a great home with a terrific family. And now, more than anything, I want to give my daughter that. That! Who knew?
Ms. Gray.
I mean, I can't give my daughter exactly that because that's already gone up in smoke. But I still could give her a real, solid, relatively normal family with a home and a yard and cable TV and a dog. See, you could at least give me the dog, okay? Give me a little hope. And I'll do my part. I will go out with a nice lawyer and see what develops. I mean, it's not exactly torture. He's great looking, and he's funny, and he's a really good kisser, and he's my age. And if I go out with him, then my life will make sense again. Because I don't care what the hell anybody says. I will never lead a normal life as long as I'm sleeping with my daughter's karate teacher. Oh, God.
Let me guess. You're the karate teacher.
I'm here to pick up my niece.
Ms. Gray, I'm impressed with your passion, if nothing else. Percy will certainly have an interesting life here. I'm gonna make a leap of faith.
Thank you.
I'll go get the papers.
I am so sorry. I really didn't. I didn't.
Mean for me to hear that?
Yeah. No, I didn't want you to hear it that way. I was trying to figure out a way to tell you. I feel really, really bad about this.
I'll survive. All right, don't beat yourself up. Sometimes people gotta obliterate everything in their past just to get themselves back on track.
Yeah. That's exactly how it feels.
And sometimes innocent people get incinerated because they happen to be too close to the blast. So, good luck with your normal life. Tell Katie I'm in the car.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, there's drama in the courtroom when McCoy works with a new district attorney. Law and Order is next on TNT.
Excuse the interruption, Mr. Levitt. You may continue.
So you have no idea who set the mattress on fire and threw it off the overpass?
No, sir.
Didn't you tell Charles Drembo that you were planning to set an old mattress on fire and throw it off that particular overpass?
If I did say that and then it actually happened, I think that would be a coincidence.
And if people saw you throwing a burning mattress over the overpass, would that be a coincidence too?
Hold on a minute, Mr. McDermott. Mr. Bosco. Mr. Bosco. Mr. Bosco! Mr. Bosco!
Yes, Judge Graham.
Gray, it's like my mood. Now tell me, as this boy's lawyer, don't you think it would be wise to stay awake during his cross-examination?
I'm terribly sorry if I appeared inattentive in any way, Your Honor. Any such appearance is due to the over-the-counter cold medication I've been taking, I'm compelled to take to combat certain flu-like symptoms.
Well, we'll try to make it more stimulating for you.
Thank you, sir.
Cold medicine.
Yeah, with a twist of lemon. Lloyd Bosco shouldn't have a driver's license, let alone be permitted to practice law. He gives lawyers a bad name.
Which is an accomplishment if you think about it. He's back with another defenseless defendant this afternoon.
Espresso for everybody. Has he always been this way?
As long as anybody around here can remember.
It's amazing to me he actually has paying clients. How do you choose Lloyd Bosco Esquire to be your lawyer?
Easy. You go down the list till you come to someone you can afford. That's how.
Nick?
Oh, there you are.
Nick, this is Bruce Van Exel, my court services officer. This is Nick Wetzel, my friend Lolly's husband.
Nick, pleasure. You got a minute? I have something for you. These came in the other day, and I put a pair aside for you.
Thanks, Nick.
Have a seat. Don't kick him off like that. He pulls the stitches.
Oh, sorry.
Everybody does it.
But you don't know my size.
8.5 narrow.
That's right. How did you know that?
Oh, I'm a professional. Yeah. See, It's sexy, but sophisticated. And the heel looks like a heel and not a piano leg. How do they feel?
Great. I mean, good.
Stand up, take a walk. Oh, yeah. That's nice. That's very good. See, a shoe like that can't be worn by just any woman.
Well, I like them.
I thought you would.
How much are they?
Gift.
Oh, no, Nick, I can't do that.
Why not? There's a law against giving shoes to a judge.
Not that I'm aware of.
Good. Wear them tomorrow night when we're having dinner.
Okay. It's with Lolly and Tom. It's a double date.
Sounds keen.
I gotta go. Just came by to give you the shoes. Bruce, it was very nice meeting you.
Same here, Nick.
It's good to see you, Nick, and say hi to Lolly for me.
When I see her. But if you have any problems with those, you let me know. We can stretch them.
Well, they are pretty nice.
Okay. We have to get back. Oh, Cinderella.
We are as ready as we can be. You look like a model citizen again. Once you learn to fake sincerity, the rest is easy. It's a joke. You're dealing with a system unfamiliar with the concept of humor. You're telling me. Maxine, have I got a shot at getting Daniel and Trinity back? You're clean, sober, employed. Yes, you have a shot. It'll be a snap.
Excuse me, I'm looking for Maxine Gray.
Be there early and hope for a good judge. I will. Thank you, Maxine.
So you're Maxine Gray?
And you would be?
Detective Shelley Tran. I'm wondering if I could borrow you for a moment. He was lookout for the two kids who actually held up the convenience store, but he's the only one who got caught. His pockets were filled with candy, a set of hair combs, and some ballpoint pens. Captain Rappaport put me on this because he thought I'd have a cultural rapport with the suspect.
Did you?
Well, I'm from Wisconsin, and he didn't want to talk about the Packers.
But he did talk.
Yeah, he has enough English to have been here a while. I think he's Thai. He won't tell us his name or where he lives, yeah. And that's because someone told him not to.
You think he's undocumented?
They warned their kids not to talk to the police because they're afraid the INS will come in and everyone will get deported, which is what can happen. There are at least 6 kids like him in detention. Parents are afraid to come get them, and the kids are afraid to speak. So they just sit there, not talking.
Like Bartleby.
Who?
Bartleby the Scrivener. It's a story about a man who would prefer not to.
Captain Rappaport said if there was anyone willing to waste time on this kid, it would be Maxine Gray.
Is there anything I can get you? A glass of water. Detective Tran told me you have been in detention more than 3 weeks. That's a long time to go without telling anybody your name. Are you going for the record? I can't believe you don't want to go home. Just as I can't believe there isn't somebody wondering where you are.
It was at this time officers Franklin and Cohen saw the car containing the defendants driving north on Sherman Boulevard, dragging the stolen ATM machine by a length of chain attached to the rear bumper. The officers pulled the car over and arrested Mr. Palmieri and Ms. Gleer, who was the driver. The defendants claimed to be ignorant of the robbery and had no idea how the cash machine came to be attached to the car they were driving.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Clausen, but we're not all here. Mr. Bosco. Mr. Bosco! Deputy, can you please wake up the defense counsel as rudely as possible?
Allow me. Hey, how about joining us, Mr. Bosco? Bosco.
Hey.
I'll get someone.
This is a mistrial, right? Like double jeopardy. So that means that we can go. That's the rule, right?
It was terrible. This poor man dying right in my courtroom.
Bosco was a bottom feeder, and he wasn't even a competent bottom feeder.
Oh, I know. He's a walking lawyer joke. I mean, he was a walking joke. Now. You know what's terrible? When the EMS was working on him, all I could think about is how he was screwing up my docket. I'm an awful person.
No, not awful, just human. You want to cancel tonight?
Absolutely not. I'm looking forward to this. Lauren's off watching her dad get married. I'm a free woman.
What makes this particular dinner with your friends so special?
Precisely because it's not special. It's a nice, normal dinner with two nice, normal couples.
You seem to be leaning on the normal lately.
Am I?
No, I'm not complaining. I mean, you know, normal's fine, I guess. I mean, it's normal.
Well, no. Normal is structure, and there's comfort in structure. It gives you something to lean on. You don't have to reinvent yourself every 5 minutes.
I hear the echoes of post-divorce syndrome.
Okay, you know what? Women like smart men, but you don't have to be smart all the time.
I'll try to dumb down before dinner.
Thank you.
I'll call you right at the courthouse.
See, that was normal.
Well, I can be downright conventional if the moment demands.
Look, I see the police take him away. I just want to see if he all right. I see him around, but they say I cannot see him because I'm not his family.
Do you always try to visit strangers you see being put into police cars?
Hey, I'm not trying to make trouble. I just see him on the street, that's all.
Do you know his name?
He hasn't told you his name?
He hasn't told us anything.
Oh, I have to get back to work.
Take my card. If you think of something that might help him.
I cannot take that. I'm sorry. Hey!
So what do you think? I think young Bartleby did not steal those combs for his own hair.
All right, next up. Todd Estabrook is here today because he's not been in school since the 12th of last month. School administration called the court, a probation officer went to the home, and then the ASA filed a family with service needs petition, and here we all are on this lovely afternoon. Mr. Mayhern, fill in the blanks.
Your Honor, Todd Estabrook has missed more than 20 days of school as a self-described protest over his school's refusal to allow a gay straight club to have access to school facilities for its meetings. Now, the state takes no stand on the perceived sexual orientation of students, nor does it take a stand on truancy as civil disobedience.
There's lots of things the state doesn't do, Mr. Mayhern. You're here to tell me what it wants.
Todd Estabrook is truant. He needs to return to school.
Todd, why have you stayed away from school since last month?
Your Honor, my name is Constance Tyler. I'm with the Eastern Carter Gay Defense Fund, and I represent Todd and his family in this matter. The Gay Straight Club was a vital asset to Todd at a very difficult time in his life. He had just come out to his parents, and the club was helping him with his transition. The suspension of that club by the school is in direct violation of federal law.
Well, this isn't a federal court, Miss Tyler. We're concerned with Todd's truancy, not his constitutional rights.
The two are inseparably linked.
Perhaps, but I'm confident we can save you the trouble of going to the Supreme Court if we all work together. Mr. Mayhern, who speaks for the school on this?
The school declined our request to send a representative.
So we don't know if Todd's the only student who stayed home when the club was banned?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, let's get someone in here with attendance records that can speak to school policy.
I'd like to suggest ASA issue subpoenas to the entire school board.
Well, that's a lovely photo op for the 6 o'clock news, Miss Tyler, but I think we'll start by asking the principal to come in.
That would be Dr. Wendis.
Good. We'll invite Dr. Wendis to join us tomorrow at
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, asking him to bring in any relevant attendance records for the period.
And what if Dr. Wendis doesn't respond to Your Honor's polite invitation?
Then I'll send in the jackbooted thugs. Would that work for you?
So you just decided to stop being a lawyer. I mean, that's a pretty big jumbo life decision. I mean, it must have taken a lot of courage.
Aren't you making enough money?
Thank you, Mr. Tact.
I was just trying to get an insight into his motivation.
It wasn't so much about money as it was about feeling burned out, tired of the battle.
Yeah, well, I hear that. That whole legal world is just a big sack of rats, isn't it?
Honey, have you met my friend Amy, the judge?
No, that's okay. I enjoy feeling like the tobacco executive.
Amy knows that I was just talking in general terms. I know that you're doing the best that you can. All those special interest groups out there sticking their nose in, you want to do the right thing, but you're just one person, and that's hard.
Well, it's very nice to be appreciated.
You bet it is. So, you're doing this internet thing? What's that all about?
Well, it's with my brother. He's working with this software guy who's developing a security program that lets you see real time what information a particular site is trying to send to the hard drive of your computer. That's the simple explanation. I can give you the detailed technical one if you want.
That's plenty. Thank you.
Bathroom?
Right over there.
What'd you find?
Oh, this is the hideaway room, I guess.
Well, look at this.
This must be where they have all the really romantic luau's.
Yeah. I like it. It's intimate.
Are you okay?
I'm very okay.
Well, the first thing I'd do is send back the shoes.
So, in your opinion, as a man, what Nick did was a pass?
By any definition of the word, yes.
You think he might have been drunk?
He wasn't drunk. Why are you trying to let him off the hook?
Because of Lolly?
Right. You want me to talk to him?
No.
Sorry that happened to you.
Tell her not to worry.
Why don't you do that in a little while?
Okay.
Ready? Fran, I was waiting for you. Where were you?
Just one more cigarette, steady the nerves.
I told you to be early.
Nothing's happened on time since it started. Why should today be any different?
Just to screw things up. And you don't have any room to screw things up. Not today. Not if you want your children back.
Well, did we get lucky with the judge?
No, we did not. We have Judge Salinger, one of the best minds of the 19th century.
What's the strategy?
Cross your fingers?
All this comes down to crossing my fingers.
What a great system. Whatever you think of the system, it is the beast that has your children. Do you want them back?
All parties for the next case.
You'll be fine.
Bartleby, he's not Thai, he's Cambodian.
As principal, Dr. Wendis, can you confirm if there were any other students with attendance records similar to Todd Esterbrook's?
Only a handful of students with Todd's block of absences.
The members of the Gay Straight Club?
We don't track kids that way.
Dr. Wendis, you know what we're talking about. A lot of kids stayed home to protest your banning of the gay-straight club.
That's what I've been told.
But by whom?
Some of the students communicated with the school, as did Miss Tyler's advocacy group, to let us know that this was some sort of protest over suspending the club.
Why did you shut down the club, Dr. Windus?
We just said that they could no longer use school facilities.
Why?
There was a great deal of community pressure. Parents saying they'd keep their kids out of school if the club was allowed to meet. And there were incidents of harassment, threats against club members. Parents calling hysterical, saying that the club was a place for homosexuals to recruit their sons and daughters.
The purpose of the club was to discuss, not explore, the student's sexuality.
Dr. Windus is testifying, not you.
So you decided the simplest thing to do was to cave into the demands of a few homophobic bigots and ban the club?
Notch it down, Miss Tyler.
If this person is unable to stand up to the rants of a few strident, closed-minded zealots, what is he doing in a position of authority?
That's not the issue, Miss Tyler. I'm not going to remind you again.
Your Honor, I've been in education my entire adult life, and I've seen many changes, good and bad. But this whole area of sexual orientation, it's unfamiliar territory. I mean, there was a time when it simply wasn't an issue. Kids were too busy being kids, but now everything's accelerated. Wears me out. I can't imagine what it's doing to them.
Dr. Windus, have you ordered any other clubs off school premises?
I wasn't getting phone calls at my house in the middle of the night over any other clubs.
That may be the case, but you haven't answered the question.
No other clubs, Your Honor.
And apart from the truancy, what is your assessment of Todd Estabrook as a student?
I wish I had 100 like him. Frankly, most of the kids staying out over this are some of the brightest and best I've got. What was I supposed to do?
Miss Fran Winston seeks revocation of commitment, which would return two minor children, Daniel and Trinity, to the care of their mother. Miss Winston has a history of drug abuse and addiction, apparently a taste she developed on the job. She was a nurse, I believe.
I'm a doctor.
At some point in time, perhaps. But the earth has cooled considerably since then. And now you're feeling all better. Is that the song?
Your Honor, Lana Ray is representing Miss Winston, who is not your typical crack mom. She's both highly educated and highly motivated. Someone who worked her way up from humble beginnings, put herself through medical school, married, earned a residency in a major hospital.
Where they gave her the keys to the medicine chest. Mr. Spooner, how does the state feel about all this?
Your Honor, my office believes that Ms. Winston has fulfilled all the requirements for revocation set down at the time of the issuance of the order. DCF has monitored the situation, and the agency's Ms. Gray informs me that Ms. Winston is ready and able to care for her children.
Does she have a job?
I believe she has, Your Honor.
She's a cashier at a restaurant, Your Honor.
Where's the husband?
Ex-husband.
Not a factor. There are criminal charges pending against the ex-husband.
Drug-related?
I believe so, yes.
Also a lapsed doctor?
Yes.
Terrific. Well, looks like everybody's happy about this reconciliation except me. Miss Winston, your attorney's right. You're not the usual drug addict, and as such, I take a dim view of rewarding someone for squandering so much. I wonder if your children don't deserve someone less cavalier about their welfare.
May I say something?
Anything you wish.
No. I am not like a lot of the women you get in here, most of them. I have to imagine what life can be like with some money and a career and a future. I don't have to imagine that. I can remember it just like I can remember exactly how I lost it. If you feel some righteous urge to punish me, there's nothing I can do about that. But when it comes to punishing, you are an amateur compared to what I've done to myself and the people I love. I'm sorry about that. But better than sorry, I am. I'm angry. Which makes me very determined. Determined to get back what I had, what I earned starting with my kids.
Random drug test. Keep the father out of the picture. Kids stay in school and maintain the grades. Any problem with that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm granting the petition, but I'm returning the children under court-ordered protective supervision, and I don't want this coming back to make me look soft.
We will monitor, Your Honor.
Next case.
They're burying Lloyd Bosco day after tomorrow.
A good idea under the circumstances.
I think we should go.
Define we.
You and me. He died in my courtroom.
Just because he's dead doesn't mean we have to be nice about it.
Yes, it does.
Death doesn't give him some kind of spiritual upgrade. He was a bad lawyer. And his clients were people who could least afford bad lawyering.
Oh, the poor guy's dead.
The poor guy was incompetent. He fell asleep in your courtroom. He couldn't remember your name.
Well, he still deserves some baseline human respect. It's normal and proper, and I think we should go.
You want me to go? Answer one question. If Lloyd Bosco had died at home or at the racetrack or anywhere other than in front of you, would you still feel this obligation to see him off?
Look, one description of my job is caring about people that I don't really care about. It's part of the noble conceit of the law. And it's no trick to feel sorry for someone that you know and like, but to work up a head of compassion for somebody like Lloyd Bosco, I figure you must be that much more involved as a human. And isn't that what we were put on the earth to do?
My mother warned me of secular humanists.
I think recess is just about over, don't you?
The other day when we talked, Detective Tran noticed that you have a tattoo on your back near your shoulder.
A lot of people have tattoos.
Yes, a lot of people do. I don't really care for them myself, but Detective Tran was explaining to me that they often have cultural significance.
I told Maxine when a Cambodian family's preparing for something dangerous, like leaving for a new country, everyone in the family gets the same tattoo.
I found that very interesting, especially when Detective Tran showed me our nameless boy's arrest report.
Under distinguishing marks, it notes a tattoo of a monkey on his back near his shoulder.
The monkey has the symbol of good fortune, correct? What sort of a tattoo do you have, Miss Muddy?
Look, he a kid from the neighborhood. That's all I know.
Would you like to see your son?
I cannot talk to you no more.
I can't believe that you are going to abandon him like this. Leave him after coming all this way? He needs to be with you.
You go inside and you see where we sleep and you tell me it's better than where he is right now. I think the mother of that boy should be very proud of her son for not giving in. Not giving up.
Nothing will happen if one of you doesn't speak to somebody. Nothing moves forward, nothing moves backward, nothing moves.
And what make you think when things move, it always good?
What if we talk to INS?
The family gets arrested.
And deported.
Cambodia doesn't accept deportees. They go into INS custody.
For how long?
Officially, INS refers to them as long-term. Off the record, they call them lifers. They never get out.
Well, I'm glad you're having such a good time. But don't forget your homework. Okay? Okay, see you Sunday. I love you. Bye.
How's Lauren?
She's fine.
For some reason, she can't wait to see the ice sculpture. I don't know why people think it's such a good idea to commemorate a wedding with a cold, hard thing that turns into a pool of tepid water.
At least you're not bitter.
Hey, Mom. I have to tell Lolly that her husband tried to cop a feel in the Polynesian restaurant. How should I do that?
I'm absolutely amazed that this late in the game, my children can still come up with questions I've never heard before.
It's not something I invited. It's something that happened.
Do you really want to talk to me about this? Because once the advice door is open, it tends to stay open. And then we might have to inevitably talk about certain other aspects of your love life.
This isn't my love life. This is a thing that happened in the restaurant. Maybe I don't have to tell Lolly. No, I have to tell her. How?
For some things, there's no proper approach. You just wade in, be honest, reasonably gentle, and hope for the best.
She won't like it.
I wouldn't wait around for a big thank you hug, but there's no way around it.
She'll get angry. She'll get angry at him, and then she'll cry, and then she'll get angry at me.
Which is what you're really afraid of. We're calling it Sanctuary House. It will streamline the process, but more important, it will keep the children from being re-traumatized.
This is a great idea. I saw it as a resident. People go into such cold shutdown when a kid is sexually abused. I'm stunned you're getting this off the ground.
Well, it's still earthbound. I have to go before the hospital board with staff recommendations. I've talked to the state's attorney's office and the police, but I need a medical person on site to supervise and coordinate with the hospital.
You've got to be kidding.
Judge Salinger's snide remarks notwithstanding, you are a doctor. I've checked with the state medical people. Your license to practice is still valid.
This is... I don't think this is such a good idea for me.
Well, I realize this would disrupt your career as a cashier, but we all have to make sacrifices.
Well, some days just being a cashier is a stretch for me. Don't you think I should keep a low profile for a while?
Fran, I have recently spent an extended period keeping a low profile. Perhaps I thought that if I just kept my head down, bad things wouldn't happen. But bad things kept right on happening. And it bothers me what kind of opportunities I might have missed while I was licking my wounds.
Me getting involved in something like this, there's a lot of stress. There's a risk.
Yes, there is. But what if all that's happened to you, all the work you've done, all the mistakes and crap and coming back to life, what if all of that was so you could sit here this morning and I could make you this offer? Think about it after you've hugged your children.
Daniel? Trinity?
Mommy!
Oh, come here.
Before I rule, I have one question. Todd?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you like to go back to school?
Yes, Your Honor. I would.
Okay. The court finds the Esterbrookes to be a family with service needs and orders DCF to see they get support and resources. As part of the prison supervision, Todd Esterbrook must return to and remain in school.
Your Honor is blaming the victim. What about the conservative agenda that led Todd to his protest?
Miss Tyler, I am ruling, and you are shutting up. The court is grateful for your vigorous advocacy, but I'm concerned about whose advocate you really are. Todd Esterbrooks, or some agenda way beyond one kid trying to figure out who he is. A 14-year-old may or may not have a credible grasp of his sexuality, but that doesn't mean he's ready to man the barricades, no matter how just the cause. Dr. Wendis, I understand this is new territory for you, but here comes the future, ready or not. Now, I can't order you to change school policy, but I can, and I will, forward a transcript of these proceedings to the federal prosecutor in this district. And from where I sit, you are in violation of the Federal Equal Access Act of 1984. And if you think Miss Tyler is tough, let me tell you, she is a walk in the park compared to a federal prosecutor. Of course, you might want to get the parents and the kids together and work out something that seems fair to everybody, and that way the school board doesn't have to worry about responding to a federal subpoena. We're done. Next case.
He was just fooling around. It's just his sweet, ham-fisted idea of being flirtatious, that's all.
Lolly, if that's being flirtatious, they have to invent new words for what comes next.
You're really upset about this. Don't be, I'm not.
Well, maybe I didn't explain it right, because I don't think you understand what happened.
Amy, he's harmless. There's nothing for you to worry about. He's like a big, friendly dog when people visit. You'll get used to it.
I don't want to get used to it, Lolly.
Okay, then. I'll put him in the back bedroom with a chew toy next time you come over. Forget it, really.
This isn't the first time someone's told you this about Nick.
He's an outgoing, demonstrative, big-hearted galoot, and I love him. And flirting is healthy, normal.
It's normal.
Normal. Now, tell me more about this ex-lawyer guy, Tom.
Maxine, I'm glad I caught you.
You didn't, actually. I'm officially off the clock.
Oh, even better, because officially I'm not here. In case someone from my office calls, I wanted you to have the paperwork on Bartleby and know what you did.
What did I do?
I talked to the prosecutor and reminded him what a busy man he is and how he must have much more important things to do than worry about this one kid who DCF has already agreed to place in a nice foster home. You're the caseworker.
I can't find a placement for him. He's not in the system.
I like to think in a way we're all in the system. Point is, the prosecutor has moved on. No case.
Well, what did you do with him? You took him back to his mother.
Maybe she's his mother, maybe she isn't. In any case, it was a sufficiently tearful reunion, and I'm sorry you missed it.
Shelley, you were very devious. I admire that in a person.
Thank you.
So as we close the tattered case...
Dragging your feet.
I already missed the best parts.
We'll stand at the edge, we'll put in an appearance, and then go, that's all.
That we have a tireless defender to argue on our behalf before the highest court of
Judge
the law.
Gray?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Carl Hortebegi, one of Lloyd's partners. I'm the one who called your office.
Oh, yes. This is Bruce Van Exel, my CSO.
Oh, thanks for coming, Mr. Van Exel. Thank you both.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I mean...
We were just about to wrap things up.
I'm sorry we're late.
No, you're here. That's what would have mattered to Lloyd. Folks, this is Judge Gray. And this is her court services officer, Mr. Van Exel. Judge Gray was presiding when Lloyd slipped the surly bounds of earth. This is Barry Escobar, the other surviving partner. The Reverend Bill Dexter. Lloyd helped him set up his direct mail ministry. Yeah. And, this is Lloyd's wife, Lydia.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Like I said, we're just about done here.
I could take it from the top if you'd like.
Oh, no. No, please don't rewind for our sake.
Oh.
Maybe a good way to button this up would be with a few words from Judge Gray. I mean, certainly the most august mourner on hand, huh?
Seems fitting to me.
Please. All right. Lloyd Bosco was an unmistakable presence in a courtroom. One does not often encounter a lawyer of his caliber. In all my time on the bench, I've never seen anything remotely like him, and I know my colleagues feel the same way. Lloyd Bosco died in my courtroom, practicing law in his own uniquely personal style. I can't imagine any of us not wanting the chance to go the way Lloyd did. To die in the midst of doing the best work that one is capable of doing. When it came to him, I think the moment of transfiguration was for Lloyd like a dream. A peaceful, perpetual dream from which he need never awake.
Very moving.
You know what would be a perfect way to end this? Is if someone sang.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. A song.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, the drama continues when Amy hears an upsetting case. Judge.
Reverend Cullum can't do it because he's out of town, but he says Reverend Werfel is excellent. What determines being excellent at a christening?
Knowing which one of us is the baby.
You're gonna take this seriously, right?
Hey.
see cranky people. They're everywhere. They don't know they're cranky.
All parties are present in the matter of Colin Ingram. Colin is accused of causing the death of his 13-year-old sister, Andrea, who was shot in the head with a shotgun that Colin took from the locked gun cabinet in his father's study. Counsel.
Your Honor, those are the basic facts. I would add that the locked gun cabinet became unlocked because Colin took the key from its hiding place on the top shelf of his father's closet. So this wasn't just a case of, hey, let's play with Dad's gun. We are asking for the maximum sentence.
Your Honor, this is a horrible situation, but it's not a murder. It was a tragic accident, which we plan to prove, and we will ask that the charges be dropped and that Colin Ingram be allowed to return home and begin a difficult healing process with his parents, who have suffered enough without having their remaining child taken away from them.
Thank you. Well, the two sides couldn't be further apart, and I need to hear some details, so why don't I see everyone back here
Tomorrow at 2:30.
tomorrow at 2:30.
An abused child is dragged all over the city to tell an extremely painful story over and over again. This horrendous process causes many parents to give up long before the perpetrator has been brought to justice.
And you think Sanctuary House can prevent that?
We'd have a full-time staff to see the child through every step of the process.
Social workers, law enforcement officials, a child psychologist, and of course a prosecutor from your office, all in one location.
Much easier on the child and parents.
Ms. Gray, we can see the allure of consolidating, but the state attorney's office can't spare a single body, not with the current logjam of cases we're staring at.
Not to mention liability issues. We've concerns about possible overzealousness and false charges.
Not to mention the task of trying to find someone to run this thing.
Dr. Winston will supervise.
With Ms. Gray's assistance, of course.
What's the matter?
I'm concerned about the fact that your director is a drug addict.
No, my director is a former drug addict. I myself am a former high school student. And everyone in this room used to poop in their pants. What exactly is your point?
We'll take a look at your proposal and we'll get back with you.
Don't you think it's weird that all the ways of describing good wine are kind of revolting?
You mean like it has a long tongue?
A slight whiff of fruity sulfur with a hint of manure and walnuts. And who was the sadist who decided that lobster tasted best if you threw it into boiling water while it was still alive?
It's probably the same guy who looked at an artichoke and decided that there was something in there worth fighting for.
It's going well.
What?
Us?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I don't know. Do I need to make my case?
No. I think I have sufficient evidence.
The other day, Zach asked me, why are you always talking to Lauren's mom in carpool lane?
Oh, no. What did you say?
Something clever, like, eat your spinach.
That's a good one.
Point is, I don't like hiding things from him,
You think we should come out?
at least to the kid. I mean, isn't Lauren asking questions?
No, mercifully not. It's not about NSYNC or her hair. She doesn't really seem to care.
Still, I think it's time, don't you? Since we both suspect this might be going somewhere.
Telling the kids. It's a big step.
I think I'm ready.
Shouldn't we wait for a more organic time to tell them?
Like when?
Next Christmas?
Saturday looks pretty organic to me.
Oh, no.
Look, we got through the tough part. We got undressed with the lights on. Going public with the kids should be a piece of cake.
Pour me some more of that revolting wine and give me a gushy kiss, and I'll think about it.
Aren't you
3 drafts ago.
That was before I pulled a thread and it unraveled like a cheap suit.
I want to talk.
Uh-oh.
What?
No conversation ever started that way, and it'd be good for the guy.
I want to have a dinner party.
See?
I have met your family and your roommates and your coworkers, and you've never met any of my friends.
I assume that you dropped them when you met me.
And I want to have it at your place. My oven doesn't work, and I only have 2 chairs.
This is some sort of test, isn't it?
People in our predicament have parties all the time.
Our predicament?
Young, single, in love, no kids.
What about Donna and the baby?
I have talked to her already, and she is happy to make herself scarce for an evening.
You are the definition of proactive.
You could say no.
Somehow, I don't believe that.
Peter, don't forget to recharge the video camera.
Don't have to.
Why?
I've hired a professional videographer.
Oh, honey, I'm going to miss the traditional 15 or 20 minutes of sideways pictures of your feet.
Why would anyone take this seriously?
Jillian, if you and Peter need a ritual, then believe me, I'm taking it seriously.
Really?
Yes, dear, I am. This is going to be very festive.
Oh, good. That must be the florist.
This late?
Yeah, he called half an hour ago. Said he was on his way. Evie. Hi.
Evie, you can't just show up without calling. We had this conversation.
I know, but I didn't think you'd want to hear this on the phone.
Hear what?
I've hired a lawyer to help me get my baby back.
You can't do that.
The adoption is final. You were there.
But that was before.
For what?
Before I tracked down Ned's father. He never got notice, and he never signed off on the adoption, so my lawyer says we have a good case. Here's her card. She'll be calling.
We have a fully executed decree. Why is that not enough to protect us against some jerk who shows up out of nowhere and claims to be the father?
Peter, let's try to stay calm.
Mother, not now.
You've done everything the state requires of adoptive parents, and you happen to have a sister with a legal background who specializes in this area. Let's not jump ahead to the full catastrophe.
Amy, are we going to lose him?
Well, strictly speaking, if the biological father wasn't informed of the adoption proceedings, then he does have certain rights.
Oh, my God. Why didn't someone tell us this could happen?
Because it's never happened in Connecticut.
Well, what do we do now?
Well, we don't panic, and first we require this guy proves paternity.
And if he does?
If DNA tests prove that this man is Ned's biological father, then we'll think about getting you guys a lawyer.
We have a lawyer.
A killer lawyer, somebody who specializes in contested adoptions.
You think we need a killer lawyer?
If Amy says you do, then that's what we'll need.
One thing at a time. First, the issue of paternity. Okay?
Oh, God. We can't really lose him, can we?
The budget office, not wanting to waste any time when it comes to delivering bad news, is cutting back the budget for our spring vacation interns by 1/3.
Sean, I have to make a copy of an adoption file. I need you to look the other way.
No, there's no way I can do that.
Then you need to forget this conversation.
Maxine,
They're cutting 1/3 of the spring break interns. I can listen and talk at the same time, but I won't.
which brings me to the most pressing bad news. We are looking at yet another lawsuit. An 18-year-old former foster child says he couldn't handle the transition into the real world. Judging from the fact that that's a direct quote, I'd say he got the idea from something he read in the paper.
Well, at least there's an 18-year-old out there who's reading.
I'm glad you find that amusing, Maxine, because you're one of the caseworkers named in the lawsuit.
My partner and I arrived about 5 minutes after we got the dispatch from 911.
Was there anything that impressed you about Colin Ingram's behavior at the time?
He was eerily calm.
Objection, Your Honor.
As a paramedic, Mr. Pasqua is well qualified to comment on state of mind.
Sustained. Let's just stick to the facts, Mr. Pasqua. Thank you.
We found the body of a 13-year-old female in the basement. We checked her vitals and determined that she was deceased.
Did you attempt to resuscitate her?
The gunshot wound was, most of her head was just gone, Your Honor.
Was there anyone else in the basement?
Another young girl who identified herself as a friend of the victim.
And was this friend also calm?
No, she was hysterical and she kept screaming, "He shot her, he shot her."
And that's the sort of behavior you would expect under the circumstances, correct?
Objection, leading.
Sustained.
While the sister's friend was screaming hysterically and the sister was lying dead on the floor, what was Colin Ingram doing?
He was sitting in a chair in the corner.
Was he paying attention to what you and the other emergency technicians were doing?
No. He was playing with a video game.
I'm just saying, how does it change my life if there's water on Mars? And wouldn't it be nice if we fed the people on this planet before we went off looking for other planets to screw up?
I'm sorry, but this from the woman who just spent her inheritance on an SUV?
So you could have sent that money to starving kids on Mars.
Louise is writing a Annie Lamott type book on the everyday sacred.
Oh, you know, how to find God at the car wash.
Oh, yeah. Just got up for the air freshener.
You didn't tell us he was funny.
So what you working on now, Vincent?
Scientific research into writer's block.
Hi.
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 Everyone, this is, that's my roommate, Donna.
I'm so sorry. I was supposed to stay at the mall until it closed, but Ariadne's teething and she was crying so loud the security guard asked us to leave. Believe me, if I had anywhere else to go, I would. It's just my mother doesn't really like me, and Oscar's mother's dead because he killed her. So you just enjoy your party. Don't give us a second thought. But if it's convenient to everyone, please whisper. Good night.
More profiteroles? Anyone?
Glad I caught you.
You just cannot stay away from this place, can you? Is it the allure of lead paint and floor polish and bad coffee?
I got a boomerang case from last year. A kid can't keep himself in a foster home.
Yeah, just when you thought you were out.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I got 15 whole minutes. Wanna get some coffee?
I can't. And Saturday's no good. For taking the kids out for pizza and telling them about us.
Oh, I got myself all steeled up. Why?
Oh, Zach's got some big school project he's working on. Maybe next weekend.
Sure. Why are we so nervous about this?
I'm not.
Well, Tom, they're 8. What are they gonna do? Forbid it? Hey.
Oh.
Boy is riding with Sabu. Boy is riding with Sabu. Into town in his canoe. Into town in his canoe. Six Sabu is rolling and sneezing. Achumu, 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 achumu. Achumu, 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 achumu. Hippo chewing on bamboo. Hippo chewing on bamboo. Dancing boy and three Sabu. Dancing boy and three Sabu. That Sabu is rowing and crying.
Hey, come on in. We're teaching Ariadne how to be infantile.
Vincent, can I see you in the bedroom, please? Okay, I've had it.
Well, I hope you didn't give it to me. Is this about the dinner party? Because I thought it went great. I mean, I liked your friends. They seemed to like me.
Vincent, I did things a little bit backwards. I fell in love with you. Before I bothered to ask if your primary relationship was with another woman and her baby.
Look, if you knew Donna, I mean, it just sort of happened.
Look, you are being a really great friend to her. She's a single mom, and that's great. And maybe it's small of me, but you have this family and extended family and family you're not even related to. And I can't help but wonder if there's room for me in such a crowded life. That's all.
When you stole your father's key and opened his gun cabinet and took the gun, what was your plan?
I don't know.
Well, surely you must have had a plan to go to that much trouble.
I guess I was gonna scare them.
Your sister and her friend.
I need you to answer out loud, Mr. Ingram.
I guess so.
How are you going to scare them?
You know.
I need you to tell me.
Sneak up on them.
You're going to sneak up on them with a gun?
I guess so.
Would it scare your sister to see you with a gun? Would she have any reason to think that you'd shoot her?
I don't know.
Mr. Ingram, I'm getting very tired of I don't know, and I guess so. The court needs to know what happened in your basement that night.
I shot my sister.
Your Honor, my client cannot be required to incriminate himself.
He's already admitted to the act, Miss Bishop. What I'm looking for now is some sense of motivation.
I was just goofing around. I was bored. It was dark in their basement. They were watching a movie, so the lights were turned off.
What happened when your sister saw you?
She screamed.
And then what happened?
She scared me. I jumped and I guess I pulled the trigger.
Mr. Ingram, your tone puzzles me. You're telling the story as if you're recounting an everyday event. How do you feel about shooting your sister?
I don't know.
Rondell Taft was out of state. And since the adoption notice only appeared in Connecticut newspapers, he's only recently become aware of his son's existence.
He became aware when Evie Martell tracked him down so she could pull this stunt.
Mr. Gray, as your attorney will no doubt inform you, when or how Mr. Taft became aware of his son's existence is irrelevant. Now we have the results of the paternity suit, which were positive. You're free to request an independent test. My clients have no problem with that.
Your client willingly surrendered her parental rights.
Evie, why are you doing this? We gave Ned the best possible home. He's happy. We're the only parents he's known.
That's only true because he hasn't had a chance to know us.
And I'm sure you'll be a delightful role model.
Like, you have no right to my son just because you're rich.
If you were so concerned, why did you abandon your pregnant girlfriend?
We're his parents. No one can love him as much as we do.
How much did you love him when you agreed to hand him over?
I thought Rondell wouldn't support me.
Oh, that is such a pile of bull.
Peter, calm down.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna calm down when someone's trying to take my son away from me.
Well, Mr. Gray, he's not your son. That's the point.
We'll have to let a judge make that decision.
Evie, please. We've always treated you kindly and fairly. Please don't do this to us.
And what about everything we invested? Your doctor's bills and supporting you all that time?
See? It's about the money. That's how they think.
Well, at least someone is thinking.
Mr. Gray, get control of yourself.
She broke her promise.
He's our son. We want him back.
I'm not prepared to face life. I can't keep no job. I can't keep no girlfriend.
And that's our fault.
I never got no religious training neither.
Oh, please. I'm the lawyer, Maxine. Let me do the interjecting.
Gerard is telling you what he lacks due to the negligence of DCF.
It is not part of the department's job to train foster children for the priesthood.
Gerard, during his high school years, lived with 5 separate foster families. 2 Democrat, 2 Republican, and 1 Libertarian.
I don't know what to believe about politics or religion. I got no grounding like in society.
Then, 1 year ago, DCF threw him out into the street with $250 and said, "We're done with you. You're on your own."
And you intend to sue DCF for $1 million because?
Gerard is stunted. Emotionally, physically, intellectually, and spiritually. You people let him down. And if you don't think that's gonna play in front of a jury, you're nuts.
Well, let's not assume this has to go in front of a jury.
What? You mean settle?
No, no one said settle.
Maxine.
I remember you, Gerard Kissy. I remember a lot that a jury might find interesting. You are stunted because you preferred huffing paint to eating. And we did not move you from one foster family to another. You persistently ran away from them or stole from them, or in one memorable case, masturbated into the laundry. I set up counseling sessions, which you skipped. I personally ensured that you made it to school so that you would not be expelled for truancy. And do you know why? Because I had hopes that if you could just make it through your teen years, you might turn into a decent human being. But here you are looking for a shortcut, as usual. And as usual, you are coming up short. And if you think we can't make that play in front of a jury, then you're the one who's nuts.
Settle that case would have turned this office into a soup kitchen for every former foster kid holding a grudge. I'm trying to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Damn it, Maxine. To keep asking me to get you a state's attorney for Sanctuary House is asking me to help you leave DCF, which is not in my best interest. I didn't drag you out of retirement to work for somebody else.
Somebody else? It's the children, Jim. It's all for the children.
Mr. Ingram, I've heard nothing that indicates to me that the gun might have gone off accidentally. Nor have I heard anything that would explain why you would purposely shoot your sister. There's no motive. And yet you seem determined to show me that you are completely indifferent to her death. Counsel, my chambers, please. I'm seriously trying to think of a way to recuse myself in this case. I'll find an excuse for a mistrial.
Your Honor, on what grounds?
Colin Ingram should have been charged as an adult in criminal court.
Jeopardy's attached. It's too late to try him as an adult.
I'm aware of that, Miss Bishop. I'm venting.
Your Honor, I looked into moving this case into criminal court, but Colin Ingram has no previous criminal record, nor is there any indication of deviant behavior.
Neither our psychiatric workup nor the prosecution's go so far as to label Colin Ingram a psychopath.
So I have a boy in his mid-teens who apparently gunned down his younger sister in cold blood and shows absolutely no remorse. In criminal court, he could have pled diminished capacity and been incarcerated until he was no longer a threat. The best I can do is put him away for 4 years. And frankly, I'm concerned that he'll still be a danger to society after that. Thank you, counsel. You're thinking I can't recuse myself just because it's a tough case?
It is a tough case.
You're thinking it's before the juvenile court and the juvenile court has to deal with it?
You will have to deal with it.
Worst case scenario, gets out in 4 years and goes on a killing spree.
That would be a bad scenario.
If I could just see some hint of humanity in the boy. A child kills another child, I expect to see some glimmer of pain, some trace of humanity. This last paragraph sounds a little pedantic.
Really? Because I was going for extremely pedantic. This is my new approach. You make the audience feel they must be stupid if they don't like it. See, I can still make you laugh.
It's never been a question of how I feel about you. God, how do you think I feel being jealous of a poor, lonely, single mother?
Look, you're not completely wrong. Donna is a lot tougher than people think. But it's not just Donna, is it? Look, you know I'm a runner. I bail out whenever anything becomes too difficult, but I'm not doing that. I want to make this work. I believe it can work, and I'm willing to stick around and fight for it. That is a huge step for me. Now, if that means nothing to you, then I'll have to accept that. But don't tell me I'm not trying, because I am. Tell me, what can I do?
Go to couples therapy with me?
10 seconds to air.
Good evening, and welcome to Slice of Life. Tonight, we welcome back author Vincent Gray.
Winter in their town was not just a season, it was a culture, complete with tradition and rules and moral guidelines. Optimism was not socially acceptable. Hey.
Hi! Did you change your mind again?
I wanted to talk to you.
Okay. Do you want coffee or something?
No. No. Look, this is hard.
Wow. Okay. I hate this conversation already.
I was all prepared to tell Zach about us. But first, I called his mom, Leslie, just to make sure we were on the same page.
Right.
And we started talking, Leslie and I. I guess I lost my nerve.
Oh. Well, maybe it's too soon to tell the kids.
I didn't count on how hard it would be.
Well, like I said, we don't have to rush anything.
I told her about us. And Leslie started crying. And we started talking. The reason Les and I split up in the first place was because we were living a lie, and we didn't want Zach to grow up in that environment. But we got married way too young. We didn't give each other a chance. When things started to get bad, we just bailed out. We didn't take the time to think about it.
Just say what you're saying. You don't want to go forward with any of this? Wait, you're getting back together with your wife?
And I'm not moving in, but we're gonna try counseling.
Okay, sure.
And I can't commit to that if I'm seeing someone else.
Right.
It's not like I have strong feelings for her, not the way I have for you.
Don't say that.
It's all about being a grown-up. And sometimes that means giving up what you want in order to do the right thing.
So you're dumping me because you really want me?
I'm not dumping you.
Do you love her?
I don't know. Do you love me?
There was somebody else.
I know.
No. No, you don't know. I liked him. I heard him. I chose you.
I don't know what to say to that.
Well, look, this conversation is making me feel ridiculous, so can you just go?
I can go.
should we talk about?
I've been wondering that myself. I mean, should we start with the big stuff and work our way down, or should we start small and build up?
I guess that depends on whether she's an inductive therapist or a deductive therapist.
See, that's why I love you. Hardly anybody else in the world would think that's even remotely funny. Like what?
Like what?
If we were to start with the big stuff, what would that be? I mean, besides this thing with Donna.
Well, I guess it would be my concern that you've tied your life to your family while I want the whole world.
I want the whole world. I mean, I like my family. I think that you would like them too if you gave them a chance.
I had enough trouble breaking free of my own family, thank you.
See, I think we should bring up all of that, the way your feelings about your family mess up the way you see my family.
God, that could be true.
And you may have a point about the size of life stuff.
I don't want you to cut your family off completely. I just need options.
What kind of options?
Well, for one, the option of not going to this christening.
You don't want to go? You don't have to go. I mean, I thought it would be nice, but it's not a deal breaker. You're uninvited.
Thank you. But if I did decide to go, of my own volition, what should I wear?
All right, Carol Toby and Vincent Gray.
Thanks. We don't need you anymore.
Thanks for use of your waiting room.
I'm still going to have to charge you.
Mr. Southam? Are you lying in wait for me?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I pull some strings, and you will be provided with a prosecuting attorney for Sanctuary House.
Thank you, James.
Don't thank me. I'm pissed.
Colin, do you have anything to say before I sentence you?
Speak to the judge, Colin.
Colin, this is your chance. If this was an accident, you have to explain it to me. This will be your last chance to do so. If you don't take this opportunity to explain it, I'm going to have to assume it's because it wasn't an accident.
Colin, please. I don't have anything to say.
Fine. In the matter of the state of Connecticut versus the minor Colin Ingram, I find Colin delinquent and the cause of Andrea Ingram's wrongful death. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Okay. I am therefore committing Colin to DCF until his 18th birthday and recommending incarceration at Long Lane.
Is that prison?
It's as close as I can get.
Well, only until I'm 18?
Your Honor. It's all right, Miss Bishop.
No, that's not enough. That's only 4 years. I shot her. I shot her with the gun. I took the key and I unlocked the cabinet. And I shot her. It doesn't matter whether it was an accident. I killed her. I killed her with the gun. I killed her, okay? I mean, the gun, it was loud and I couldn't hear anything. And I thought it was smoke, but it was blood. It was smoke coming from Andrea's head. I shot her! I shot my sister!
Colin, did you know the gun was loaded?
No. You guys should kill me. You guys should hang me or just shoot me in the heart or something. I don't want to live.
And they brought young children to him that he should touch them, and his disciples rebuked those that brought them. But when Jesus saw it, he was much displeased, and said unto them, Suffer the little children to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of God. You know, this is a joyous occasion. You're allowed to smile. Who is sponsoring this child?
My brother, Vincent Gray.
Don't worry, I'll give him back.
You're not the one I'm worried about.
As this child's godfather, it's your responsibility to ensure he gets good religious training. Do you make this solemn promise to his parents?
Vincent.
To the best of my ability, yes.
Name this child?
Edward Matthew Gray.
Through the sacrament of baptism, we are initiated into Christ's holy church. Edward Matthew Gray, I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. As a representative of the church, I would like to welcome Ned to our community. Is there anyone in the family who'd like to say something?
You're still sure this is what you want to hear?
Yes.
It's not a little close to the bone under the circumstances.
They're good words.
Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not of you. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday.
All the logic slips away. There ain't another word that you can say. At the falling of another perfect day. This is the falling of another perfect day.
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, a woman's killer may be closer than detectives imagined. Solve the case with Law and Order, next on TNT.